There it is. Well, it's a little eyeball popped up. Two people. Sorry we took so long. I was bitching about private things to Lady Horror. But before we get into anything today, if you haven't already, celebrate this woman because she finally got up to memberships.
Yay!
Woo! So now we need to get her up to the full partnership program. So if you aren't already, go open another tab, turn on her thing, and if you want to donate some money, what are your membership levels? What do they start at? $1?
$2 for it's kind of a basic membership that it's just kind of $2 if you happen to want to throw out money and support me. And then in the weird chance I actually decide to do just member chat only, I don't know why I would, but I might, then you can talk. $5 gets you into members only streams, which we will be having about once a month. Not this month just because I was a little flat-footed in preparation, but we will start that next month for doing that. And then there's a $20 or $25, one of those two amounts of money that then you can be on the streams. I'm going to be doing like a monthly wallpaper, cell phone wallpaper that you can download and put on your phone that I'm making myself.
Ooh.
If you're interested, you can message me your address and I will send you stickers. I think there's more, but I can't remember what else there is right now.
Well, I mean, that's really good. And I actually got to say that I myself, it's going to kill my paycheck for a little bit, but we're trying to rearrange my hours at work so that way I dedicate all mornings to content creation again.
Yay!
So we're trying to rearrange it so that because my boss very much wants me to succeed on YouTube. And as it stands right now, I know that if I get consistent on YouTube, I could stand to make at least 4 a month, maybe 8. But I got to be good at it. I've got to actually have shit flowing. And considering right now it's starting to turn to apparently YouTube is going to start turning to legacy media again.
It's that time. It's that time.
No, I mean they just fired 100 YouTube partnership liaisons. So what a YouTube partnership liaison is, for anyone who doesn't know, if you hit a certain level, by the way, hi Moon, hi Christian, hi everybody. What a liaison is, once you reach a certain level of members and subscribers on YouTube, you get a liaison. And what they are is they are a person who handles your account and is your go-between from you to YouTube. So for instance, if you're a very large creator and you got hacked, you could actually go directly to your liaison. They can go in, they can figure out what's going on, so on and so forth. Well, they just fired 100 of them the other day. And they now want it to be more AI based, where they actually are trying to get it so that, remember YouTube Red? Well, they're trying to bring that back. They're trying to do that again. And they are trying to do whatchamacallit, legacy media, so that way when you go on YouTube, you're looking at the NFL, you're watching ABC, you're watching NBC. And I'm like, I already get that from my Sling. And yes, Natanya, that is something that made me think about today. Isn't it odd that right after they lay off 100 people, that this happens? Right after they do that, this all takes place. And it's sadly, I feel I what happened to Gothics today, I think it upsets me more now than it upsets her at this point, because she's very much it is what it is. I have to handle it as it goes. I've done everything I can. I personally, it's something that I do dread. Thankfully, I am not famous in any short, so my risk is low, and it's not worth, I'm not even going to say the words out loud because it's just a challenge, but it's something where I don't like having to lose stuff like that. And will she get her channel back? I have no idea. The Horror said she knows people who it's happened to, and they've gotten it back. So that's what I hope. Well, my thing is I'm just purposely ignoring it because he's asking about a game that is just so you guys know we're answering somebody from another platform. He's asking about a game that is a man in a toilet. She's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
is that what that is?
yeah, it's what people troll you." That's why I was ignoring him because he wants you to notice him because he's asking to be a troll. So, he's at least he's a little more creative than the ones that just talk about our teeth and our fat, but still. It's so unfortunate YouTube accounts can get hacked sometimes. Right. Well, it comes down to a lot of different things.
There's
Um,
so many ways that they can do it now too.
I just think that if you have two factor verification, it should be more secure. And it bothers me that even having it, you can still get hacked now. So it's like, why even bother doing it? But that's besides the point.
Keeps out the lazy hackers.
Right. Can't stand it. But so what I want to do is try to establish a foothold to get at least some semblance of money coming into on the YouTube side. I'm not giving up the restaurant by any means. I still have to go in on the daily and clean up at the end of the shift. So I'm going to be there for like 2 hours every night cleaning. Um,
Right.
because I'm still the fastest of the dishes. And I'm still going to be there for events and I'm still going to be doing all that stuff. But like I just did prep. My wrists are freaking numb.
I bet.
Yeah. And the thing is, my boss, like, she literally, they defected from Vietnam right after the war, and so she literally ran from pirates and shit when she was like 5.
Wow.
One of her siblings actually got kidnapped, by pirates,
Hmm.
and so when she came to America, she had to take on a large role for her siblings, and she did a lot of the cooking herself, and so she's been using knives since she was like 6. I wasn't allowed to touch a knife till I was 12.
I don't even remember when I started being able to use knives.
Big deal.
Gothic's channel got hacked. Sorry. Hey, Marcus, no, I will not be going to MegaCon. That was too sudden of an announcement for us to be able to make it. To get out of Montana, you have to do just a little bit of planning, especially if you're going to fly. And I do not have the income to allow me to drive 3 days across country and 3 days back.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Where's MegaCon?
Florida.
No.
Yeah.
That's and when is it happening?
The 1st through the 4th?
Of February?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That is way too short notice. Athena, darling. I know life's hard. I need to fix my chair.
We would have loved to go to MegaCon, but yeah, just too short of a notice. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it.
Ooh. There we go. Yes. We are loving that you can get those now. Do not stand on my keyboard.
I enjoy it.
We like money. If you want to support this lovely lady, make sure you go and be a member. Starts as low as $2. Why not? You spend $2 a month on fast food, don't you? Go give it to the elder god.
I hope you're not spending $2 on fast food, but if you are, maybe cut the budget. Send it me instead.
Exactly.
I'm less fattening. I am fat, but I'm less fattening.
We're a healthy fat.
I am the only healthy fat you will get.
We're the avocado of influencers. You should put that an elder god avocado.
It's interesting.
You ladies should call this stream cat ladies. We are animal ladies.
We love cats, but we love all the other animals too.
Ooh. So a friend of mine who's been a dog person this whole time has insinuated she's thinking of getting a kitty.
Ooh.
I'm so excited. So I was like, shut up. Are you serious? Because she announced it on her stories. And I was like, are you sure? And she's like, well, I was raised to believe that cats were gross and nasty because my mom said it. She goes, but then I talked to my friend who loved dogs and she got a cat and she's like been selling me on it. And I'm like, girl, there's a reason I have 14 cats, but only 2 dogs.
There's a reason I have 5 dogs. Well, technically 4 dogs and only 2 cats. So
she don't want that independence. She likes them.
No, sadly, my dogs are basically cats in a dog form. So it's not like I got away from it.
That's true. But yeah, because it's funny is I think I've told you this. I have like 4 friends that I used to work with at Walmart back in the day. And they're always in my stories now on Instagram, and I love them for it. Every one of them who thought I was a loser, and we jokingly call each other loser, but they thought it was loser quality to own a cat. Every one of them has adopted a cat, and they're like, "Oh my god, you were so right. It's so amazing. I love this animal. They're my baby." Blah 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 blah. Look at that beautiful fresh cut. Well, sort
Say
of.
hi to Flynn. He's visiting for 2 weeks.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. I don't recognize them, but they look like they're looking fresh.
Well, the fella that we rehomed him with is out of town on a cruise.
And he didn't bring you.
Someone had to watch the dog.
I guess so.
Besides which, as much as the guy's a good family friend, he's not the kind I want to be hanging out with.
Does he watch your streams?
No.
Okay.
He's retired.
Uh-huh.
And old.
Uh-huh.
Just, yeah.
This sounds someone perfect to go with, because then they can watch the hotel room while you go out and have fun.
No.
That's how I see it.
No.
Is he someone who will have to be with you the whole time?
No, he's someone who gets drunk a lot.
Oh, so he has his own hotel room. Got you. I got you. Right, Natanya? I feel like I've converted them just a little bit. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, listen, I love dogs. I love my dogs. I'll be the first to say, since becoming a dog owner, I have had to be a lot more of a homebody. I have had Greta now for, she had her since 2016. Okay? From the moment I got a dog, I had to change the way I would go out. When you have a cat, even if you have 10 cats, even if you have 30 cats, you can go for 2 days. You can just fuck off. As long as you drop enough food on the floor, they're great. Okay? You can just have somebody come by, drop the food, check the litter boxes, and make sure the water bowls are full. That's it. Okay? You can't do that with a dog. You can't. Dogs really can't free roam a house that long by themselves. They can't go to the bathroom with that because they don't have that wherewithal as much, and they're more destructive. Like, they're more willing to eat the poop afterwards. Like, you can't leave like a little dog box, like a cat box you have. You can't leave a dog box of fake grass, because a dog in its boredom might walk over and rip it up.
You see, that's why I have a dog door.
Right, but even then, you can't have that, because what if the dogs get out and then they can break out of the fence while you're not home? Like, there's all different
That
things
would
that go wrong with
really
that.
be magical if they did that.
Listen, but not impossible.
It's not impossible, no. They could dig under the fence if they really put their minds to it. Thankfully, not something they've really put their minds to. So
Right. And so it's like, it's a lot of different when you have dogs. You have to rearrange everything, because you can't just leave food out. They will just gorge all that food in one go.
it depends on the dog. Ours, you can actually just leave it out. They don't gorge that same way.
You've never been gone for 3 days and with no monitoring them. Like, you've always.
I mean, I can put an entire bowl of food down and they don't. They picky eat.
Right, I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. Like, when there's nobody there at all, their behavior always changes, because the dogs are by themselves. So they might eat out of nervousness. Like, again, I feel less anxiety leaving for a week, because I know it's easy to find someone to drop food down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the same with a dog. It's just not. And even though you might have a breed like that, overarching, you're more of a special case.
Robust.
Thing. Hello, robust. That's what I'm saying. Like, so for you, it might be the case, but we know overall it is not.
Well, there are a lot of dogs. A lot of it depends on how your dogs are raised.
Right. But even then, sometimes, like with Orion and Greta, Orion is much better at eating than Greta is. There was many times before Orion came along, and even afterwards for a while, Greta would just refuse to eat for no reason. Any stray wind took by her, she wouldn't eat. If anything disrupted the flow of time, Greta was not happy. As I was saying, it's like it's very with dogs. You don't have as much independence, and especially if you have smaller dogs, like Chihuahuas, for instance, your entire life is very much about the dog,
Well,
and
plus that a Chihuahua is more portable.
they are. But there's still places you can't bring them. Like you can't bring your Chihuahua to Disney. And that's the thing. This friend of mine, she goes to Disney all the time. She might she doesn't socialize, but when she wants to go somewhere, she has to leave the whole ass house for like a few days. I can tell you right now, I filled my dog's bowl before 10:30. It will still be full when I get home tomorrow morning. Right, when you get home the next day. What I'm trying to say is
Hey,
you
Joker.
fill that bowl and then leave for 5 days and have confidence your dog's going to be able to have enough food for 5 days. Whereas theoretically with cats, you can. I know because I've done it. And it's if you have to, you have to. But that's what I'm saying. Overall, cats give you a lot more independence as a pet.
And you see, we have actually gone and had someone just stop by the house twice a day with the dogs and feed them and spend a few minutes with them and go, just like you would with a cat, and had no problems.
Right. I've had that. What I'm saying is like you can't leave them unattended at all. Like with a cat, if you leave enough food, yes, it's better for people to come and drop food. What I'm saying is you lock the door and they don't see another human for 5 days. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that with my cats either. So
See, I've had to, I know for a fact it works. Plus, I have cameras in the house, so I watch it all. But
I refuse to put cameras in my house. I have a doorbell camera. There will be no cameras in this. Well, I mean, other than my webcam, obviously. But other than that.
Why?
Why? Because I like to walk around naked.
Knew it. Dirty.
I have no shame in admitting that. I like to get up in the morning, walk down through my house butt ass naked, and I don't need anybody hacking my cameras and watching me walk around naked and then sending me letters saying, we watched you walk around naked and now we're sick and we're going to sue you.
You know what? I walk around naked with the cameras. Do your worst. I'll walk out in my front yard naked.
I've done that once or twice too, but that's a different discussion.
I feel no shame. But
what about my mom? She's usually at work when I'm. What about? It's not like she hasn't seen me naked. My mother knows what I look like.
Here's the thing, Marcus. I don't know how it is for all females, but I'm getting the feeling she's going to agree with me. If you're really close with your mom as a girl, your mom sees you naked a lot just because you don't give a fuck. I would march in up until the day my mom died. I'd walk in on her going to the bathroom. I walk in on her in the shower. We didn't give a single flying fuck at all.
My mother.
It's my mom. There's like too much.
I have nothing she ain't seen. She has looked at things on my body that no other person in this world should probably look at. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah.
If you're close, and maybe it's a girl thing. I don't know, because I know guys don't do that. I know it's definitely not a dad-son thing. From what I've seen. See, look, I can never be around my dad naked. I have heard most guys reiterate that it's not something they could do around their dad. Right. And some people, if you're not super close with your mom or it's got kind of a different relationship, but my mom and I were like super close.
I mean, it's not like I like seeing my mother naked. It's just I don't really care.
We aren't aiming for it to be the outcome, guys.
It's not something I do because I enjoy it. It's just something that happens.
Right. Like, as I'm saying, like, it's you have to have that particular kind of relationship with your mom. And I'm not saying it's all girls, Moon, but most girls I know that are really close with their moms have done similar things to me. But every guy I know that's super close with their dad has never done that. It is not a thing. So I think it is a matter of
funny.
Only, huh?
It's kind of funny,
right? Like it's. But think about it. Think of a single guy you know that's close to their dad, and they're like, "Oh yeah, my dad and I let our wangers fly all the time." Like, imagine. Can you even imagine that as a thing? And so, it probably because most guys don't look good naked, so it's harder to ignore. Once again, I've never thought of whether or not my mom looked good naked.
Yeah.
Okay? But we just fat old bitches with saggy ditties. Like that was just how it is. That's how me and my mom were. It's uncomfortable.
E-
You don't have to, babe. It's not you. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not every girl, but
I mean,
girls that are comfortable with it.
I guess I don't. I could understand why, if you were raised in a certain way, being naked around somebody else would be uncomfortable. But when you've been raised in a way in which your parent was a very trusted figure,
Right.
specifically your mother, then it's not something that you even really think about. Like, I don't think about the fact that I'm naked in front of my mother. It's just not, it doesn't, I get up, I gather whatever I need, I go downstairs, I walk through the living room, mom's down there, she's doing whatever in the world she's doing, I go, hi, mom, and I go to the bathroom.
She might make my mom might have made like a. Can you put can you put your boobs away? Oh, your butt's hanging out. Like she might say something, but it wasn't a. Like again, so you guys were raised on farms.
Mom won't even say anything.
We're again. My house is full of ball busters. We always were, and it's like for instance, all right. So to put it in perspective, even as we're saying this, whenever I watch anime, and I don't know if horror's gonna know what I'm talking because I watch a lot of ones with romance, and a woman's in a bath, like one of these open air baths, or a girl stays over. It's always a come take a bath with a perfect stranger. They've just met them, and these
That's
two
weird.
girls will hop dead ass naked and have whole conversations in the bath. And this is a very common cultural thing in Japan. That's fucking weird to me.
I mean, I guess for them it's a little less weird because they're used to communal bathing.
That's what I'm saying. For them, it's not weird. For me, I would never hop in a bath with my mom. Nay, nay. No, that's her nudie water. I'm gonna have my own nudie water. Thank you very much. Like she could have easily been in there by herself. There's only one person I'm sharing nudie water with, and that's my husband.
Well, now I'm wondering if I would do a naked Japanese bath with my mother. I don't think, like one of those hot spring baths. I'm not sure.
If it was big, okay, like if there was big where I'm not in her aura of liquid.
Yeah, yeah. You got to have that space so you have the bubble, and
you got to be a good distance away. But even then, it would be odd to me. That's something like that's where I could see, like, you know, what did I walk in? So it was a conversation about cameras in the house. That's how this started. And
now we're talking about naked Japanese baths with our mothers. That's all.
Mother-daughter bonding, of course. That's what we're talking about. Like, I just personally, it would not, like, so how it was is, and you can just rewind. This is not getting better.
No, you're not making it sound any better either.
Maybe I meant not to. But Hara was saying she wouldn't want cameras in her house because she marches around butt ass naked. And I said, so do I. I don't care. And she said, well, you know, and her mom might see her. I'm like, my mom saw me too. And that it spiraled.
No, Marcus asked about my mother. What about my mother?
Because, oh, yeah, your mother. And it spiraled from there. Like, but, you know, I just, I don't know. I've lacked shame, but I do not wish to see others in the nude. Like, if I have to see it, I'll see it. I don't care.
It's just like I don't like public locker rooms. I don't like spend my time naked in a public locker room, and I don't like to see other people naked in a public locker room. I just want to get out of my clothes, get into my other clothes, and then go do my thing, and then come back and do the thing in reverse.
Public locker rooms always smell bad, and for girls, it's different than guys. Guys' public locker rooms smell like weird sweat and nachos. Girls, it smells like every other aisle in Target, Macy's perfume section, or fucking Victoria's Secret. And it's every different kind of lotion, and it's, no offense, I'm gonna sound so Rossist for this. I know a lot of girls that are like Hispanic or Black use a lot of coconut oil or tropical scents. I hate it so much.
Yeah, you see, I'm just allergic to perfume in general. So it doesn't matter if it's the good stuff or the bad stuff, it gives me issues.
That's what's always bothered me is like I always know I'm going to be around shea butter, cocoa butter, coconut oil, and anything that has the tropical scents drives me up a wall. And so many females across the board use it now. It and Chantilly lace.
Well, the
I didn't
butters at least are good for your skin. I don't know about the rest of them.
see. I see. Thank you, Natanya. But unsub. Shut up, Rachel. And see this. I don't like the fake strawberry scents either anymore. As I've gotten older, I can't handle it. But I do like the scent of peonies. I don't like strawberry; it bothers my nose. Right? It that weird. Do you get that weird like burning tingle on like the center of your tongue and the back of your tongue when you catch those strong? I know you don't, but
I get migraines.
yeah, like it. So for me, and it if the perfume is cheap or if it has the tropical or the musk. The musk smells especially do this to me. I get an immediate stuffy nose, sore throat, headache. It if it's cheap perfumes. Expensive perfumes don't do that. So there is the truth of the quality of the product.
For you anyway.
Right. But it's only as long as it's not in like extreme doses. You hit me hard with it right in my face, and there's no difference. But like my husband can't walk into Lush. I can. Lush is enough of an ambient scent that I'm okay. Like a cheap over floral, heavy musk that burns the air. Yes. It smells like, all right, so what it reminds me of, have you ever had like an itchy wool sweater? The scent reminds me of how an itchy wool sweater feels right on your face. Like right there. And you're sniffing like this. And you just want to smack it away. That's what these scents are like to me.
For me, it goes up here. I can feel it right through here, and then it basically becomes a pain all the way back.
See, now for me, they don't start here. It goes here and then to the back of the skull. Kind of like that Turkish coffee. And and whatchamacalls it? I have now gravitated towards, so like Rachel said, I'll go towards like peony scents, the linen scents, water scents. Bergamot has been, I know bergamot is technically a citrus, okay? I understand that. In my mind, bergamot is a water smell. It's what sexy water smells like. Okay?
You see, to me, again, it's just what headaches smell like.
Oh, I love bergamot. But don't you like Earl Grey? I thought you said you liked Earl Grey tea.
I might be able to handle it as tea. Now, you see, a lot of times there's a difference between how it's processed when if it's an actual flower, like if it's the literal flower, I might be okay.
But bergamot is the fruit, not the flower.
Okay, if it's the literal object, let's rephrase this. If it's the literal object, so like an orange, I'm good with an actual orange. If it's an actual bergamot, I might be okay with the actual bergamot. If it is a manufactured scent or an extract, probably not.
Pear blossom. I'm not sure if I've ever smelled pear blossom. I will say this. I love the scent of sakura. It's really nice. Again, I keep going back to peonies, lilacs. Oh, I love the smell of lilacs.
I like real lilacs. The manufactured scent again. It's something in the processing that they do just hits me wrong.
So you know what I want to plant? There is a tree in the front of my yard. And it's not that it's unhealthy, but it's ugly as fuck. It's like splitting in this weird way because apparently it got struck by lightning several years ago and it has not grown properly ever since. I don't like this tree. I kept it out of honor of the owner of the house when it was still her house. It's my house now. I want a lilac because at home in Rhode Island, I had a beautiful lilac. We grew it and I loved it. I tended to this. I trimmed it. I kept its base clean. We bought it in honor of my grandma and I wanted to take it with us so bad to North Carolina, but everyone said no. And so it stays, if they didn't already dig it up, it is still in the front yard of my childhood home. I very much would love to get a lilac. So what I want to get is, lining the front of my yard is a bunch of honeysuckle, which is great in theory, and it does perfume the air beautifully for about a week. Otherwise, it looks like a tangled fucking ugly mess.
Yeah.
I would really much rather it all down and line my yard with sakura trees instead. I would love to do that, and then I would love to, in between the sakura trees, fruit trees. So I would love to get some fruit trees for myself. I have to figure out what fruits I want, and then where that tree currently is, there is a walnut growing next to it. I want to save the walnut,
Mm-hmm.
and then I want to put a lilac in its place, but I'm not sure. I've got a camellia and a rose bush growing on the side of my porch. I don't know how to trim back the rose properly. Edie will probably watch this again, and I'll get a random message on Instagram going, I can tell you how to do it. But I need, because I'm very proud of this rose. It survived despite everything, because it literally just got abandoned there. It's still got the original plastic pot around its base.
Hmm.
It was supposed to die. And over the last 5 years, this bitch done grew. And grew and grew and grew. Let me see. Rachel's over here going off. Japanese cherry blossom and white jasmine are nice, but in moderation. Agreed. 1 cent I will always buy anytime, and it pop back up. Cashmere. That's disgusting. I hate that. Is one of the cashmere glow is one of those scents that I hate. That is that musk smell I was telling you about. Cashmere. That's one of those musk scents. It is not pleasant. It is the worst part of a itchy sweater. So says I.
The worst smell in the world is vanilla.
I think I agree and disagree, because I would challenge you that it's Macintosh apple, because fake Macintosh apple is disgusting, and just like how I said stunning to you earlier, that's disgusting. But the right scent of vanilla smells amazing.
Yeah, you see, none of them are the right one in my opinion. Hey, Silver.
I see the Cthulhu wink. I just see that it says Cthulhu wink.
Yeah, I've got some cute little emotes now.
Damn fake Italian, excuse you. I'm gonna have to go after Rachel.
Really? You're just now realizing this?
She's bullying me. Realizing what? Who's realizing what? Excuse you.
You're realizing that you're gonna have to go after Rachel. Are you kidding me?
I thought you were meaning what she said. I was like, is you saying I'm a fake?
I mean,
shut your mouth. You just not your tentacles, young lady. You just go.
vanilla, when you're talking about an actual vanilla bean, vanilla cookies, vanilla ice cream, basically, if it's actually made out of actual vanilla, fine, good. If it's a perfume, if it's fake vanilla, even if it's fake vanilla food, especially if it's fake vanilla food, oh my
I
god,
don't want beaver ass.
it awful. Huh?
I don't want beaver ass.
That's one of the many ways they make it. Yes, beaver ass.
These insults when I make spaghetti on Thursday and break the pasta.
I'm not even Italian, and that hurt.
I've
You should be making it yourself.
Huh?
She should be making it herself. Pasta's not that hard to make, people.
Just gotta get the machine. Actually, even then, it's not that hard. Vanilla beans.
You don't even need a machine. Just make the pasta and cut it.
Moon, let me tell you something. I really get mad when people say vanilla like something is bad. Let me tell you all something, okay? There is nothing as satisfying as when you have an upset tummy or you're hot and you have that crisp, delicious vanilla bean ice cream. Just that real shit. What? Go ahead.
Oh no. I mean, I prefer strawberry, but vanilla bean ice cream is in fact delicious, but it's best served with pie.
I love it just by itself because honestly, for me, I don't need the ice cream ruining the pie.
Let me see. I like it. The irony, Mad Gent, of your hate banana flavored things but love bananas is that the banana flavored is actually not banana flavored. It's what bananas used to taste like, as opposed to what they currently taste like.
You know what the worst
It's a
thing is
whole
though?
thing.
They now flavor things now like the current banana, and I hate that too. Like I love bananas, but I don't like. So I'm with the Mad Gentleman, and here's why. I am a very rare creature. Of course, it's me. I'm special. I don't like ripe bananas. If the banana is sweet, I don't want it. I eat my bananas as green as possible. Like not when they still have the tannins in them and like you get that bitter dryness in your mouth. But I don't like bananas that are sugary. Like if there's a single brown spot on it, I don't want it. Like
Actually, I like them when they're still green at the top. So
I
I
don't
that's how I prefer my banana, unless I am cooking. If I'm making banana bread or if I'm making banana pudding, then it needs to be a little more developed. But otherwise,
so first of all, you can go ahead and ask Moon. I don't read DMs almost at all, sir. Like at all. How often does it take me to get to She'll message me in the morning. I might not see the DM because I turned off all alerts. When I got the new phone, I turned off alerts for all DMs because my DMs would blow up all day long. And Rachel, you and Black Cats and Edie are to blame for the initial blow up, and then after that, it just got worse and worse and worse because I couldn't distinct. Because again, when the art Twitter shit happened or when Asian talk happened, my inbox was blowing up on all my shit all the time, and I just didn't have the wherewithal to go and turn it off. I haven't. Like there are DMs that I get on Discord. I don't notice. Moon, God bless her, when she has a question for me, she might send it on Instagram, and then she'll message me on Discord, and then she'll message me. She'll see I've just posted a story, and she'll be like, "Answer your DMs," and I'm like, "It's like, sorry, man." So it's whatchamacalls it. I don't, but I'm guessing that means that the fraud wants to see something. So what is so important, sir? Let me see.
I mean, it's obvious that you're kind of busy, you know?
I'll settle this later, okay?
Uh-oh. Someone in trouble?
A little. It's too much for me to look at right now. Oh, also, this all happened on my mom's birthday. Yeah, that's another reason why I was not looking at it. And yeah, yesterday was my mom's birthday, man. That's part of the reason. Yeah, it's gonna have to be tomorrow because it's already 1 a.m. But how dare you ignore Moon of all your children? I don't purposely do it. Also, Twinkies in and of themselves is gross, my friend.
Twinkies are not good.
Like there was a short amount of time when they came back. Remember how they got rid of them, and then they came back. So there was a like they discontinued Twinkies like I think like 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Continued them, and then a year and a half afterwards, they brought them back. And when they first brought them back, they were not bad. Because I went and got one just because they were brought back. And whatchamacalls it. And I was like, okay, it's all right. You can stay done with it. But then after that, I got them again about a year later. And I was like, this is disgusting.
I've always been more of a Zinger fan.
If I had to pick, funny bones are always a thing that I've always, if I'm going to go for any of those things, right? The funny bone, the oatmeal pies back in the day.
Well, that's different. That's Little Debbie.
I consider them all the same fucking thing. They're all in my mind. They're all the same thing at the end of the day. If I've and the brand I've gone towards is Tasty Cake mostly, and I'll go for like the Tasty Cake pecan pinwheels. So stuff like
Okay.
I gotta get my old ass to bed. Good night, fraud. Good night.
Night, bub.
And so it's like, whatchamacalls it? Um, what was I gonna say?
What are the cats doing?
I'll be back.
All right, guys, you heard that. She's got to go figure out what the cats have knocked over. Why don't you tell me something interesting, huh?
And they're fighting now.
Oh, cool. So the cats have knocked stuff over and now they're fighting. So we can't see any of this. However, we are going to talk about beavers. I've been playing beaver games. Timberborn, where you play as in post-apocalyptic. I got it out. World ran by beavers. The most amusing thing about it is how it demonstrates that beavers are the only creature on Earth that is more destructive to the environment, or, well, we'll say equally destructive to the environment as humans. They are well known. No cat fight pay-per-view. Sorry, Silver. They're well known for changing the course of entire rivers and flooding places that weren't flooded before. They're fascinating little creatures. Keep in mind that their front teeth grow forever. They don't ever stop. So part of the reason why beavers eat so much wood is to keep their teeth from growing just all the way back. Uh-oh, she's back.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? Chuck wood.
One chuck of woodchuck could chuck of woodchuck could chuck wood.
Because fun fact, they don't chuck wood at all. But so someone, I don't know who, was probably sleeping on a package that is on the counter, and someone else, Axel, jumped onto them to attack them. That's the best I'm getting out of it. Which launched into a fight. And he heard my fat ass stomping into the kitchen, and suddenly the fight ends, and Axel's trying to run. So now I've got the weapon at the ready. $3, Home Depot and Lowe's. This shit got spray. You can clear at least 20 feet with that bad, Larry. Let me see. Dams will do that. Yeah, and they've actually, so fun fact, they have proven that removing beavers, just removing beavers from an area of land actually damages not only the water systems, but the tree growth, the grass, and the megafauna in that area.
Yep.
And that is why, once again, we get on the reintroduction train.
Oh God, here she goes again.
I'm still stuck. I am still stuck. And Lindsay Nicole is on the board of directors now for the reintroduction of the mastodon and the mammoth. I listen.
I think I understand. I've seen Jurassic Park.
I don't deny what you're gonna say, but
we should let nature fix itself instead of fucking around with it.
So, hear me out, King Kai. Unlike Peter. Hush. Here's what I will say. The dinosaurs never interacted with humans. And the only reason that these animals went extinct was because of humans. And it's a direct result of our actions. Not only that, but these creatures were alive while we were alive within the last 4,000 years. We're not talking 30,000 years ago. We're not talking 100,000 years ago. We're talking within the last 6,000 years.
Yeah, because that's still not a long time or anything.
It's a long time, but in terms of species, it makes more sense. Like,
No, it makes sense that humans want to get involved and fuck with things they ought not fuck with.
I want to pet a mammoth, damn it.
That's not a good reason.
And since I can't pet the ones that already died, because they're in the climate control and it'll damage the specimen, I gotta get the mutated, reincarnated babies. And then on top of that, we'll fix the environment.
Or make it worse because the environment has had 6,000 years to evolve without them. 4 to 6,000 years. It doesn't matter. In the end, the world will fix itself as long as we stop trying to fuck with it.
Technically, we would be unfucking it.
No, we'll be trying to unfuck it, but because we're deciding we're doing it without actually knowing everything involved, because that's what humans do is run around and do shit half cocked, we make it worse.
I do agree with that to an extent. They actually, this is the first time I have actually seen them doing it full cocked. Okay. So, how they're doing it currently, they are on a 15-year study with the Eurasian bison, which they have brought back from extinction. Okay. And it is being, whatchamacallit, it is being monitored in the tundras of Russia. They have several different large swaths of land that they have different types of herds, they have different populations, and they are seeing if there's a benefit, if there's not a benefit, because these are a megafauna fauna that was in the tundra, in the Arctic over there, and they want to see what the benefits are. Just like with how, if you look at the gray wolf coming back after so many years, what about an elephant? That should be close enough, right? So that's what they're actually using. The Asian elephant is how they are doing this, because they have found the Asian elephant is the closest relative to mammoths.
So she should just go pet an Asian elephant and we should all shut the fuck up about it.
If we got Asian elephants a big enough coat. Saying. Here's the thing, no matter what we say they gonna do, the only good reason is for food. I want mammoth burger.
I would totally eat a mammoth steak, not even gonna lie. But that doesn't mean I think it's a good idea to bring it back.
I mean, technically, you can eat mammoth steak right now. The meat's gonna taste a little weird, but they've actually done it. So they have actually served. So they have served ancient food before. One of the things they served was bog butter.
Yeah, I've seen that. My mother and I were watching something, and then they came up with the bog butter, and we're talking about how old it was and how it was. It's probably technically still edible. We looked at each other and said, we know that somebody ate that.
That's not creepy at all, right? So the thing is, technically, depending on how it has been preserved in the permafrost, a lot of the animals that are in there are fully edible. There's only certain ones that aren't.
I don't even eat freezer-bound food for my freezer. I am not eating an ancient animal.
This is true. I still don't understand what made them think eating mummies was cool. That's people.
You know somebody drank that liquid shit they found in that thing, you know somebody did.
That's true. Some nasty Victorian.
No, I'm talking the one they opened up just like back in 2023 or whatever. You don't remember that?
You think?
Oh, I'm positive. I am 190% positive that some weird little scientist out there dipped his little finger in and went,
yeah, just getting the image in my head.
You know it.
And how dare you, Fox? But
yes.
The thing is, I would agree with something that's been like dead for millions of years. I would agree with something that's been dead for hundreds of thousands of years. I would agree with all that. Something this recent, like the is it the Atlas lion? Wait, I just got back from patrol. What scientists eat it? They was licking up their mummy juice. I'm just imagining just the sludge.
I just like Rachel's comment, King Tut's curse be self-inflicted, I guess.
The Caspian, so there's the Tasmanian tiger, the dodo. These are animals. Like, fun fact, the dodo is a pigeon. I just found that out. And while technically humans were not the cause of death, technically humans were. Now, this is one of the other reasons why, again, hello, Ark. This is one of the reasons, again, why I am more for a mammoth. Hear me out. Because the dodo wasn't killed by humans. It was killed by rats, pigs, cats, and invasive birds that were brought to Mauritius by people. These animals invaded the territory, invaded the space, and the thing is, dodos did not mate very often. They didn't lay a lot of eggs. And when they did lay their eggs, they were very large. And if you know anything about birds, it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of calcium. So when you only have one egg in every mating season, they keep getting eaten, and it takes you a whole other fucking year. So this is where the problem starts, right? The thing we do that I don't like is we try to adjust a ecosystem with animals that are not from that ecosystem. That I hate. We do it all the time. We still think it's okay to do. And then we have gypsy moths is a great example. We have lantern flies. We have burrowing horn beetles. We have 5 different kinds of, we have snake heads. We have all these different things that don't belong in the ecosystem. And that is what ruins it. Whereas the mammoth,
we just happen to think that if we make it come back and drop it back in, everything will be fine.
Will be, because it was originally there.
4,000 years ago.
It still was originally there.
4,000 years ago.
Yes, but if you look at the places we're putting them, that place hasn't changed.
Hasn't
Those landscapes, they haven't. Not in several thousand
And
years.
is it really necessary?
Yes, because what they're trying to, they haven't changed in terms of the same flora and fauna technically live there. But they're saying, like, for instance, the Great Plains didn't used to be Great Plains.
Unlucky.
There was a lot different there. Giant hornets, thank you, yes.
I mean, the Great Plains were also once underwater. Should we bring back the megalodon?
Don't tempt me, because I want to see that giant motherfucker. She brought up the wrong animal.
Oh, no, I picked the animal on purpose.
I want the megalodon. Listen, these are getting a little long in the tooth. I need a fresh one. I need a fresh one. Although I will say this, guys. If anyone wants to donate $250 for me to buy that one at my local shop, I won't fight you.
She would totally do it. Marcus Henry for $5. Fun fact, did you know the mantis shrimp has the fastest moving appendage in the animal kingdom? Their claws/clubs break the sound barrier. Yep. I actually learned that from the Octopod show that my friend's daughter used to watch, and I would watch it with her. It was actually a really good show for that. Lots of really good animal facts.
And they can see in spectrum of a color we don't even know exist.
Mm-hmm.
They have one of the most complicated eyeballs in the animal kingdom. So I don't know about that.
She would. She'd eat it.
I would eat it if it was offered. But it's frozen for 72 hours. I'm sorry, you want the Meg to come back? Have you seen Jaws? Have you seen the Meg? Listen, yes, I saw the Meg, and it is so unbelievable that I'm willing to let it come back. Because you gotta realize something. There's a reason why tiny fish can swim around a great white and have no fear. We, the tiny fish, there would have to be a school of us for a megalodon to be like, that is worth my time. Maybe. There's a reason why you have found bones of whales with megalodon teeth jammed in it, and bones of whales with megalodon teeth grinding in it, because that's what they go for. And it's actually been suspected that they were not active hunters either, that they were scavengers, because when you're an animal of that size, you have to expel the energy in the best way possible. And that's not always going to be actively hunting. You got to conserve your calories for everything else. Prefers to be called megalodon these days. I'd only one way to find out would be to make the mammoth, to make it happen, right? I mean, we know it exists. That's how
If we're going to take ourselves out, it might as well be by creating a new creature, or putting back an old creature, or something like that. I don't know. It's better than them fucking around with the weather anyway. Only marginally.
I definitely take that over the weather. Like, I really don't like the idea of us, like, that's something I actually am not cool with. I am cool with trying to prevent a volcano. Like, I'm cool with trying to figure out how to divert a volcanic explosion to not hurt people. Like, not stop it, but divert it. Like, can we send that like lava to another direction? Can we divert it away from homes, people? I'm cool with that.
And then it just blows up a larger city. Yeah.
No. Again, I'm not saying like here's where the volcano is going to push and we put a cap on it. I'm saying we just make sure that as it's exploding, we have a way to send it just one direction, just one single way, so that way it's away from people.
I'm sure you've noticed I don't particularly trust humanity.
Neither of us do, but I mean, I ain't got much of a choice, sadly. We're not the ones in charge. So you hate whales and want the Meg to return? Yes. As a matter of fact, I do. Let's find out how to control a volcano. I'm sure the Chinese will fuck that up. I don't think there's any way to truly control a volcano. And the thing is, like, yes, the Atlas bear, that is one. There's a lot of animals and large animals that got destroyed by us purely. But seriously, I love holding these things. These are, if you ever can get a chance to just own a fossil of any kind, guys. I know it's like a deep sin to touch fossils so much, but
yeah, they're yours.
They're mine. It brings me unbelievable joy to know that I'm holding the tooth of something that could have actually absolutely destroyed me back in the day. Somewhere in the oceans, millions of years ago, this shark shed its tooth like it was nothing. And then somehow it split. And now I hold it today. That's the shit that goes through my head. Like, when I hold a fossil, that's what I think about. Like, this particular tooth, you can still see the razor on the edge. Now, imagine that digging through. How much is a fossil like that? So these I got at a very lucky price. $12 a piece. I got these. The man who had them got them in bulk and did not understand the value of what he had. Now, these would cost at least $70 a piece. Rachel? Rachel, I need you to understand that not only are you correct, but I know exactly which fossil you can send me. So, won't get me. I will pin every single comment of yours in every video. I promise. These aren't fakes, and the reason you can tell is one, and I gotta get the dust off of it. Now, this one is less oxidized. Not only are you correct, if you look, you can see the root of the tooth right here. You can see the enamel chipping off in layers. right there. You can see the stress lines on the tooth. Like these were real. These are very real. This one has a little bit more, but this also got more damaged. Teeths. Is it true that horses confuse women's period for a female horse and heat? I mean, the thing is, hormones are hormones at the end of the day, when they all produce estrogen. So if a woman is producing enough and the horse is horny enough, yes.
Having been, however, on my period and around horses, that is not my experience.
I think it depends on the person.
Well, and then it has a lot to do with the fact that a human female's most fertile time isn't her period.
No.
Unlike a horse, where it's not even a period at that point, it's something entirely different. The way an animal reproduction system works versus a human reproduction system is extremely different.
And I can actually show you. Hold on, I'm gonna look them up. Someone's saying 3 digits. I think it's only full teeth that are 3 digits, but let me check.
No, we saw some that were quite expensive that one night.
Yeah, but not half teeth. That's what he's saying. He's thinking the one that I'm holding in my hand. I don't believe half teeth.
Yes, Dave, the correct word is estrus. I'm so glad we have the biologist here to correct me.
Now, Dave, tell people how male horses figure out horses are in heat.
Ooh.
It's gross. It's real gross. Teeth for sale. Fossil era. I've gone to this website quite a few times. Oh, they've gone up in price. Oh, they've gone severely up in price. Oh, shit.
Have they?
Oh, my God. So bad. Look at this now. Like, last time I looked, these were only like 600 or 800. Now, look, they're going up.
Oh, damn.
Like, severely. And now, see this one right here? This one right here is what a full of this one would look like. And so I'd have almost $4,000 in my hand then. I'm trying to see if there's any half teeth. I don't even see that. See, now these are more 4.4 inches. These are more affordable. I would definitely like a full tooth. These are just crystal. I don't know why those are even sold. So see, yeah, right here, a partial tooth, $85, $79. 79. So yeah, so I just like rough spitballed that.
Yeah, you were in the right approximate range.
These are like less pretty full, probably smaller teeth. Well, what is Dave saying?
It's not Dave. It was Arcanus. He said, no, thank you. I didn't sign up for that TED Talk. But Dave did say pheromones mostly, body language too.
Sure, that's all. I've watched a couple of videos. It's true, the pheromones, but it's how they figure out the pheromones is what's gross. But just found out the Supreme Court is allowing border. Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah, that's a great thing to find out. Great thing.
Not surprised
at all. But yeah, so Rachel, just saying, if you ever decide to, I won't stop you. But I really like overall, I like this place. This is a website that museums go to buy pieces. As you can see, you got an alligatorid, Diplocidon, $29,000. Giant Permian amphibian, Sclerocephalus, $19,500. A serrated Tyrannosaurus tooth, it's already sold. What?
Unlucky says the tooth fairy were really slacking for hundreds of millions of years.
She just let them all fly everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly I agree, Arcanus. If I had to pick Like, if I was ever going to blow my money on stuff, right? If I had tons of money and I was gonna blow it, it would be on this shit. You would see my walls decorated with fossils. I've got little tiny versions of this in my house somewhere. Matt bought them for me for my birthday, and then they got misplaced. They're supposed to be somewhere over here, but I don't know where I left them. I feel mildly stupid. I don't know where I put them. I was supposed to keep them over here and keep them safe. That did not happen, and I feel dumb. But what are you gonna do? The megalodon teeth are safe. That's all that matters. These were the little tiny ones were only like $1. They're very cheap to get. See, look, rooted dinosaur tooth with skull. Like, these are really cool fossils. And you can like decide what you want. So if you want to get amber, ammonites, bivalve fossils, crabs, lobsters, and shrimp. They have a shit ton of dino fossils. And they always keep them up for a little while after they sell. Like this hadrosaur, I think it's been sold for a hot minute now, and they still have it up. This is another I always see hadrosaurs, so I wonder if it's just the most common. Iguanodons and hadrosaurs, I always see a lot of. I really want dinosaur poop. Like, that I'm hoping I can get eventually. See, hadrosaur vertebrae. Ornithopod vertebrae. What?
Now here's a story all about how dolphin mating turned my world upside down. Dave, you have an unhealthy obsession.
Dave! What's the biggest fossil on the site? I'm not sure. I'll find out. As for your question, Rachel, no. I know I have no desire for a longhorn because my biggest temptation would be to feed it to the dogs. That's a lot of chewing stuff. See, I don't know if they do it by size. Highest price. I don't know. I'm assuming it'd be under the dino bones. This hadrosaur is 22 inches tall. I know they had one once that was like an entire wall. I know they've had Tyrannosaurus heads. I've seen that once or twice on here. So these are all vertebrae. So these are boring. So let's go over back to the fossils. They got meteorites too, which I would also like. Coral crabs, dinos. They have mammoth, only teeth, which is actually pretty affordable, all things considered.
Dave says biggest fossil so far is in Argentina of a massive sauropod. The biggest theropod fossil is also in Argentina, Gigantosaurus, he believes.
Right, but we're talking like what they have for sale on the website. So they're saying they have mosasaur. I remember them having a really large one. I remember it, but I don't know.
Little Fox says after winning the lottery, local Italian woman spends $1 million on a collection of extinct animal fossils and poop. The only reason she was for this, y'all gotta catch them all.
How dare you call me out? He's not wrong. Oh my god, if I won the lottery tomorrow. All right, so see right here, look. They had this whole ass pterosaur on here once. That's a decent size. So they've had, let me see if I click on mosasaur. I haven't gone all the way down. Maybe they had a full-on mosasaur. So I don't know if they had this for sale. This is Bruce, the giant mosasaur of the Canadian Fossil Discovery Center. So no, I don't think that's one they sold. Whoa. Upper jaw of an Ignadammosaurus with rounded teeth specialized for crushing ammonite. How crazy is that?
Oh, that's cool.
Looks like mushrooms. I thought that was like an issue, but that's their teeth. That's crazy. So it's like, and this is why I like this shit. Oh look, you can literally click the under 50. Ooh, I can get a Spinosaurus tooth.
Nice.
Oh, I kinda. They're not very big, but I think I'd be willing.
Hey, Metastep, thanks for the $2.99. He was distracted by Star Wars lore and Fortnite. I'm sorry.
Look at this. Look at this. That's tiny. That's less than an inch.
Star saying, how dare you? I would never do that. Is currently checking the prices on the least expensive fossil.
Rachel, I'm talking.
Oh, that was Little Fox.
Oh, look at this. This is only 2.3 inches. $45 for a megalodon, but it's a juvenile. Ooh, sperm whale tooth. See,
Very cool.
This is where Starman needs to start looking more often. I'm just saying.
Tiz Dave says Spinosaurus was one dinosaur whose reconstruction changed so much since the 90s.
That is so true. That is so true. So I love watching like documentaries on shit like that, and he is. Oh, look at these little seed cones. How cute!
Cute. Rachel, I got scolded for shit I didn't denounce I'm doing. Hi, Faye Queen.
What is it? I guess what shit I didn't announce I'm doing. Hi, Faye. I will say, so close to release of Helldivers. That's all I can think about. You should be looking at these fossils. Is what you should be doing. See all this.
Oh.
If Starman surprised me with like a bunch of shit from the under $50, I've told him in the past, my goal is to have a collection of fossils. I don't need exotic, although exotic is fun. Look, I could have a vertebrae. I could have so many cool things. 6-inch reptile vertebrae, seed pods, hadrosaur teeth in 3 parts. You keep tattling on them. What are they saying?
Little Fox says, I don't blame you, Star Santa. If I had the money, I would blow any money I had on me to get any of these. Just one tooth, I'd be a happy man. Night, Marcus. Thanks for stopping in.
You sent me something on Discord. I'll check it afterwards, babe. Screw them fossils. I'm gonna make an entire species of bug fossils on the 8th. Why don't you make like a tumbleweed and go to the desert and dig some up? Because
she just has to come out here and visit me.
It's true. We've already kind of made a plan for it at some point. First, we have to do the New York trip, and then I'm gonna go to see her, and we're all gonna try to find fossils out there too. And right near me in South Carolina, there are whole swaths of land filled with shark's teeth, because South Carolina was like where the megalodon used to like proliferate, I guess. I don't know how to say it properly, but that's where they was. You little fish. See, like, this is shit where Starman got to get up on this shit. Because I just want this all displayed in the back. Because, like, all right, so I made a plan, right? I made a plan. Now that I own the house, kids, I kind of want to build my office on the property. But not, good night, honey. I want to build my office on the property outside of the house, because then I wouldn't need this room and it would separate work from home.
Yeah.
The only problem is then it'd be a lot more difficult with the dogs during the day. That's the first problem. I'd have to bring them out into the office with me. So that's the first issue.
You could always build them a little run on the side of the office.
Well, I was thinking that, but then I also thought, wouldn't it be nice if I had office bunnies? Little wabbits just for the bunnies. While my boys get some geology books, find where the past muddy, swampy areas, you find some complete fossils there. It's why so many are found. I am not digging through the muds of North Carolina, sir. There are venomous creatures out there. I'm going to have my husband do that for me in South Carolina. Reminds me of how Nick Cage, office chickens, no, they're going to be out there in the backyard where they belong. Speaking of expensive stuff in my country, we got a special silver that costs a lot. 2 kilos of it went for around $4 million.
Wow.
That's a lot for silver.
A kilo is not exactly a small amount either, though.
True. That's true.
But still, that's a lot for silver.
It's still a lot though. I got that fossil museum like 8 miles away. I can just bust in and grab a mammoth tusk, which is the most frequent thing they find of mammoths besides their teeth. You think they'd be a little cheaper to buy?
Mm.
What? What? You gonna purr? You all hearing that, or can you not?
Yeah.
In the past, woman. Yes, 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 yes. But again, that's where like there's this section in South Carolina where you can go and you can pay. There's a riverbed. And like people always find shark teeth there. Gotta hop off myself because undoubtedly the morning will rain damage and totally not plotting how to take advantage of lax security at the museum. Good night, Rachel. Yeah, silver's less than $30 a troy. A troy ounce? What's a troy ounce?
I think it's a very specifically weighted amount.
I was gonna say I don't know that measurement.
I know that I hear it a lot on. Yeah, troy ounce. A troy ounce is a measurement for precious metals that dates back to the Middle Ages. 1 troy ounce is equal to 31.10 grams.
Yeah, that. And you know who swam in that sea, Dave? Dolphins. Happily. Probably outran the megalodon too. Although now I can't even jokingly make the cackle sounds without thinking of Dave just going, dolphins! Just this angry scream. Don't mind me. I'm still getting residual headache. So if you guys didn't watch my shorts today, I went out with my boss earlier today. I went to a restaurant that is a kebab restaurant, right? And while we were there, after we ate everything, he asked if we wanted Turkish coffee. And my boss got super excited. And she was like, yeah. And so she asked me if I wanted some. And I was like, sure, because she knows me. I have to have, like, if I'm going to have a coffee, it's got to be sweet. He brings us this beautiful cup. And whatchamacallit, it's a little chocolate kish next to it. And each of us took a sip. When I tell you I physically felt like a hit right here, all along the back of my head and the base of it, oh, it hurt. And we then realized she thought he said Turkish tea, which is sweet. It was not. It was painful. We're sitting there gagging. It's not a very big restaurant. It's like a little. It used to be a convenience store and a gas station, and the man just snatches up all these old gas stations, and it was so painful, guys. And then, so I had to cut the bitterness, so I put salt in it, and I dropped the Hershey Kiss in, and I mixed it up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna glug it. No one told me that Turkish coffee has a sludge of coffee grounds at the bottom. And that was another unpleasant experience. But the worst part of it was my boss, she dumped half hers into mine, so we both looked like we had, only drank a little. And I had to eat candy afterwards.
Dave says Turkish coffee is normal here. We drink it with brandy in quotation marks on the side. So I'm imagining that's their homemade brandy. He showed us their homemade alcohol. You got to label it in the bottle or else it looks like water.
You don't want that mistake. There are much more sinister things in the sea, like the relatives of the Loch Ness monster who stole the tree fitty. Yes, but there were relatives of dolphins back then. There's also the mosasaur. But you don't know There could have been agents of dolphins back then that you're just not aware of. They could just not have been fossilized. It might not be in the fossil history. Not everything fossilizes properly, sir. The supremacy continues. It's a hangover killer. Let me tell you something. It's a killer of all things. My stomach has felt odd since Star Sun's light before her eyes. This is it's so true. It's so true. I went like, and it was so pretty. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna hold on. Hold on, I'll show you guys.
She'll get it. Don't worry. So long, and thanks for all the fish. So sad it had to come from this. We tried to warn you, a dolphin somewhere. Yeah.
A dolphin somewhere, maybe. Like, someone brings you that. Doesn't that look so cute?
It's a very adorable, a very cool cup.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was a liar. It was hiding.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, you can tell just by looking at the top of it in the little bit of liquid you can see there that that's got nothing in it.
I thought that was foam or sweetener. I thought that's what it was. Like I was hopeful.
Yeah,
I was hopeful.
That's straight up just the coffee foam on top.
Oh, that was no, that was straight up pain.
You like Turkish coffee, honey?
I've had it before. It's very good.
You see, Sheep likes it.
He's a liar. That's what he is.
She's calling you a liar.
That's the thing. You know what?
I didn't realize you unmuted me.
Mm-hmm.
I've had Turkish coffee before. It's very strong. Yes, it's very earthy. I like that earthy taste to it.
You mean the actual dirt in it? Yeah.
She's asking you about the actual dirt in it.
I used a coffee press. I don't know about dirt.
There was literal coffee sludge in the bottom of the cup.
Oh yeah. We had a coffee press, so all of that shit stayed inside the press and not in the cup.
I'm gonna say she had it traditionally brewed, as opposed to brewed in a coffee press. The Turks make their coffee in a different way.
Okay, I still had Turkish coffee. That doesn't detract from what I had.
I'm not gonna lie, Dave. Serbia probably would kill her. So Kongsberg silver is so expensive because it's a native silver, which is harder to find than native gold. Interesting. Typically, I have my coffee with no cream or sugar. I imagine I would like Turkish coffee. There's a good chance. He says he likes a cup of mud. It was fresh ground. There you go. See, Silver, you were right. He does. He likes dark coffee sometimes. Normally, he prefers it with a little sugar in it, or a lot of sugar in it previously. He got over it. Mud, ground. Yes, I got it. I got it, Silver. I understood. I'm sure he picked up on the pun as well.
What?
Did you pick up on the pun as well?
I missed it.
The pun? You missed the pun? Mud, ground.
Is it like a black thing or something?
No, it's a coffee thing and a dirt thing. Mud and ground. You would like a cup of mud, fresh ground?
Oh, okay.
You see, he would have gotten it, but he confused it. Sheep, yes. He is Zeri. He's the wizard. That would be my boyfriend. What you know is Turkish coffee is probably the modification from Serbia, Bosnia, because the coffee in Turkey is brewed and tastes completely differently. Right. No, that's what I'm talking about. Is the very specific, different brewing of Turkish coffee is entirely different from regular coffee. Um, so I'd imagine she probably didn't quite have traditional Turkish coffee. He had coffee in a French press that was made with maybe a Turkish blend. Would be my thought. Uh, Figured that would earn us shut up silver. I don't touch coffee. I had tiramisu a few weeks ago. That shit deserves a warning label of taste of evil. I love tiramisu. Assuming it's a good tiramisu and they don't use an almond alcohol in it, because I can't, almonds me that. My dogs are retarded. And then I don't know what Star's doing. I missed that. But she just likes her coffee flavored with something other than death. And finds tiramisu delicious, which I think most women do. Oh, you did say that. I missed it because of the stuff going on here. Apparently Flynn decided to attack one of the cats downstairs, which, it took him nearly a week to decide to start doing it again, but hey, why not? Ever had Russian coffee? It's basically coffee with a little bit of liquor. No, I have not had Russian coffee. I have had coffee with a little bit of liquor in it, but I don't think it was particularly Russian. I imagine the liquor you use probably matters. I do love Kahlua. I should get some Kahlua. Kahlua and cream sounds good. But not right now. Isn't that just Spike basically? Yes. Oh, also, there's a chance that I will start working in IVF in March. Congrats, Dave. Definitely keep us in on that. I hope so. I know that's what you want. I imagine Russia coffee is vodka with dirt. Is that a little racism from Norwegian? Let me increase your birth rate. Dave. Yeah. Dave is IVF like infertility. Like he's actually working on human embryos and stuff. That's what Dave's job is. He just finished a practical in it, and he's hoping to be able to get a job doing IVF. So he's doing great things for people. And then he lets me irritate him when people... oh, yes, he would be the IVFer. Yes, he would be. He also lets me tag him on things like when people say fish are able to change sex, therefore humans can. African coffee is just regular coffee with a piece of fried chicken. That's awful. That's awful, Fox. Just awful. That was Little Fox. Right, Arcanus. That was not the best. Oh, also the mine in Kongsberg's closed, which also contributes to the high price of silver that came from there. That makes sense, limited amount and all that definitely makes the price go up. Serve that in a waffle cup. Silver. Fox doesn't need your help. Oh my god. Arcanus is new around here. I'm glad we haven't scared him off. I didn't know it was a Popeyes. Shit. Oh, you guys are funny. Very funny people. Hey, don't forget to drink that down with grape soda. Oh my god. For the record, it's purple drink. Heck yeah, dude. All we need is some homemade biscuits and we got the party going on. No Kool-Aid. That's the purple drink. Guy with a PhD in genetics studies don't know that an uneven number of chromosomes is bad. If you put him in a field, he'd hoe it wrong. I mean, he would anyway. He's a fucking geneticist. Yeah. Oh, all right. You're right, Jock Lantern. I got that wrong. It's purple drink. Drink. Hold on, honey. Will you say purple drink into the microphone for me so that you can say it the right way?
No.
Please?
Mm-mm.
Pretty please?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm trying to draw.
So? It'll just take you 10 seconds.
It's pronounced purple drink.
There you go. See? Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are a bunch of degenerates, and I love you. Purple Dre. Yeah, no. Purple drink. This sounds weird. Is drank even a word? Technically. Yes,
Did you
Jocko
ask
was
if
right.
the past tense of drink was a real word or not?
Yes.
And also, guys, you have to forgive her for continuing with the D words. Her tongue keeps sticking to the D.
I really should go back and clip that part out.
When I tell you, so I decided when she announced, because last Monday, I was exhausted, guys. If you were on my Tuesday live stream, you know that I had been up since 3 a.m. And I missed half of that because I couldn't figure out. All I heard was purple drink, and I was like, she kept saying D words, and I was like, she's still stuck on that D.
Well, Jock, you really. How many tongues do you have how many D's do you have your tongue along?
You nasty. You nasty. Yeah. Go ahead, guys. Clip it.
No, I got to go back to that other stream on that Monday stream and clip last week's and clip it out. You missed a lot.
I know. I'm trying to see. Oh, mine is Colesburg, blah, blah, blah. Serve that in a waffle cup! Oh, no, I still left! I didn't know this was Popeyes! Excuse you, this a Cane's, okay?
No.
Oh, you have a dolphin brain. Her tongue keeps sticking to the D. What you trying to say, ma'am? I think Sheep knows exactly what I'm trying to say. Oh, she getting caught up. Right. I try not to have my tongue stick to the D. Thank you very much. So you say, Jock. But we know what happens in those locker rooms. All that male bonding.
That explains why they don't like to be naked around each other.
Now we know why it's so weird.
You're right.
Don't ask, don't tell may have ended, but gentlemen, hide the grapefruits.
It's better than smuggling the grapes.
If you're only snuggling grapes, you men will have more problems than I'm worried about. Should at least be avocados. A happy little accident.
Nectarines aren't too bad. I mean, that would also be acceptable.
Or plum.
Yeah.
If you're getting into apple territory, we have to talk.
Mm.
There's not enough room.
Mm-mm.
There's not enough chipmunk cheeks.
Oh,
Oh God! Haas avocado from Mexico. We're not talking about the big ass one. We're not talking about avocados. We're talking about avocado from Mexico. And zipping up the boots again. Oh Lord! I'm surprised Sheep is missing all this.
He's over there with his headset on drawing.
To be honest, after looking what's happening to the military, I might be okay. I'll bring it back. Don't ask, don't tell, for real.
I mean, who wanted to ask and who wanted to tell anyway?
Right? Like, God.
I don't care what you're doing in your bedroom. Just leave me out of it. Are we talking about food or something? Look, you get to explain it to him. I'm not doing that one.
Oh, sweet summer child. Your name is so perfect for right now. How about you don't? Satan himself considers fruit play a torture method. Only if you have open wounds, sir. You know, as long as you don't use your teeth, there's no scrapes, and it's all, I'm a foreigner. Well, my unlucky friend. When we are talking about these fruits, we are talking about the dingles and berries on a man.
The fruits of the loom, one might say.
That is quite true. The fruits of the womb. A man's ballinis, testicles, puñacas.
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Do not use the Lord's name in vain, sir. They should be of the proper fruit size. And if family jewels, thank you. All right, see, you were worried we'd chase him away.
He just showed up the other night, so I always worry a little bit. How long are they going to stay once they really realize what it's like around here?
True. But see, the thing is, the eggplant is...
Oh my gosh.
The thirsty fruit is real today, kids. Yes, the forbidden fruit. So there is the eggplant, the banana, the cucumber. That is the different kind of fruits. We're talking about the globes below. And they should be roughly the size of an avocado or a plum. If you have grape or raisin size, seek medical help. I'm an NWN streamer and was happy to see more NWN content. But please, everything else, like learning about dolphins. Right. And forbidden fruit. You're welcome. Because we certainly stay on topic here on the StarMorata Animal Show. Oh, so to get back on topic, though. So, noticing the puppers walking into the room. So, a few weeks ago, totally segueing, the fruit is only touchy but no bitey. I mean, depends on the man. Some guys are into that shit. It started with mammoths, right? A mammoth trunk.
Rudy, you better not be doing what I think you're doing.
Rudy.
Okay.
Don't be rude. But anyways, so about 4 weeks ago, maybe 5 now, Starman and I were leaving to go somewhere. And as we're leaving the neighborhood, this pair of dash hounds appears right in the road. I thought they were cats. And he got really good shots of them. So hold on, I'm going to show you guys what they look like. They were in the road. And I thought they kind of were hoping that somebody would come up to them. They kept circling the car. Not in an aggressive way, but in a like, I don't know if you're going to hurt me kind of way. So, all right, fine, no problem, whatever. I didn't say anything major at the time. I did post about it, but no photos because I couldn't get any photos. And yeah, I'm trying to get to the pictures right now because we took them a couple of days ago. Then they kept appearing on my property every other day. But you're going to see why in a second, guys. I'm not going to say a word to why I don't think these are homeless dogs. I know the moment she sees them, she's going to know. And I want to see if anyone else notices. Because it's a very... What?
Dave, he's funny.
Shame has left the building. Out of fear of me. Are you sure, sir? You're the one summoning our lord. Let's not assume how these fossils smell. I'm getting worried. Okay, I'll stop. This joke's run too far. All right. So, Horror got to see it first. So, ow, Athena, babe, you don't meow. You hurt. You have sharp claws, even though I trim them. So, this is them from afar. All right. 2 males. They seem intact, but I can't be quite sure. But this is a really good shot of them. Now, I'm not going to say a word. Horror, why do I think these dogs are not homeless?
Well, for one, they're awfully clean. For two, they're looking at you. They don't seem to be avoidant.
Well, they run away, but
they're kind of casual. Well, but the way they're looking, it's body language.
Well, they're adorable. Yes, they also are wire hair dash hounds. And I'm gonna show you guys because again, whoa.
At least the one is for sure.
Let's unshare for a minute. I don't know why it did that.
Did which?
Down for a minute, babe. Stop.
Yeah, and they are quite well fed.
Very well fed. Their fur is extremely shiny. I'm going to show you guys what an ungroomed wire hair dash hound looks like. And it does not take very long for their hair to get there. Wire hair dash hound. Okay, images. Trying to find one that's not groomed, but I think it'll get the... Okay, there's one that's not really groomed. Okay. So I'm going to share this one to you.
We do too. That's part of why we show some terrible things to you so that you know what to look for.
What a distinguished gentleman. He's very distinguished, yes. So these are all wire hair. You can see they are very much wire hair dash hounds. One that hasn't been groomed in several weeks will look like this. Or like this.
They get quite shaggy quite fast.
These dogs look like this. And like this. Like they have been trimmed.
Yeah. Though I will say the one, you can see that his neck hasn't been shaved quite all the way down.
True, but now that could be a personal choice, or it could be the dog gets aggressive about his neck. We don't know.
Yeah.
The fact that his full body is well maintained was the first initial shot where we were all like, yeah, their beards are long and shaggy. Everything looks like these are maintained dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And up until tonight, I wasn't overtly concerned about them meandering. Tonight, they were in Orion's yard.
Uh-oh.
That's a problem. Because they may be fast dogs, but they're going to turn into hot dogs if Orion catches them. Orion is very reactive. Anything new, he has to investigate, and he is very prey-driven. So a dash hound is just like a man. Ignore for a few weeks, and he'll be looking like a wild beast. Right. And the thing is, these dogs look in the same condition I saw them in several weeks ago.
Yeah, so someone's taking care of them.
Mm-hmm, their fur should not look that good for only a few weeks ago. And so it's like, life is short, the clock is ticking, so make your move because it will be your last. Right. This is definitely Orion, because I've told you guys, like the day the kitten got into the dog yard, he didn't even technically bite the kitten. He sniffed her so hard he crushed it. So another dog that he has already seen, because every time they come on the property, I don't see them. The camera doesn't alert me. My asshole alerts me. He starts screaming his head off and barking, 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 barking. So that's how I find out. And that's why I know if I let them out, because Orion immediately jets it to around the house. And I have no idea if the animals can hear me.
Yeah.
By the time I was afraid I was going to get punched by some kid's dad this morning, because they were at the bus stop while I was walking by when a black dog started to run from across the street.
Why would he punch you for that?
Right. I'm curious about that, mad gentleman. Were you going to toss the dog at the children?
I'm imagining we're waiting for the second part.
I'm waiting for the second part. And so the problem with it is that now that I know these dogs, because there was a hole in the fence. That's how we got in. Starman just informed me of it. I turned to get in between it and the kids, and one of the kids said, "Don't kill it." Did you have a gun on you?
Did you look like you're from the ATF?
Are you a member of PETA? Mom, let me just have one bite of those dogs. Just one. All I ask. He literally punches my window to get anything he wants. And I have to zap him for it. But no, and so that's where the trajectory of what we need to do has. Because I had to talk to the kids to figure out where to take the dog because it got out. Who do you know whose dog it was? But yeah, so I posted it on, and here was the thing. So I posted this last week on Monday, Monday or Tuesday. And you guys already know I was really tired.
Yeah.
From everything I had been doing, waking up at 3 a.m., not being done till late at night. And I don't mean to disparage my fellow rescue people, but these bitches were calling me on Facebook. I don't know you. And I've got my alerts off. So all I was getting was a little bing, right? A little bing saying that I got an alert, but I checked my messages and nobody messaged me. I had to go into my message alerts. They were sending, "I'm coming to the area. I'm around the area. Where are you?"
What?
You. I am not watching my phone like a hawk. I have my own life. Now, I understand that it's important that these dogs get found or get safe, but I have my own. They were like, "You need to put out food. You need to capture them. Do you want my dog to just eat them in the house?" Number one, I don't know if these dogs are safe to be around my dogs, because right now we have a dog flu going on, epidemic of it. I don't need these dogs that are meandering around getting my dog sick. That's first and foremost. Second of all, these are dash hounds. They are hunting dogs. And I got 14 cats. I don't know if these dogs are cat friendly.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing them anywhere near my fucking house. I haven't got the means to. I want the dog runs for this reason. But they're like, "Well, you need to put out a trap." No, the fuck I don't. I have done my duty. I took photos and I made a post. And now that I found it going in my dog yard, I'm repairing the holes. And now I have to change trajectory. I've got to get another camera for the backyard. And I got to get more lights for the yard so I can see what's going on. I had nothing in my hands. I don't know why the kids thought I was going to kill it. Maybe someone threatened to kill their dog before. Oh, it was their dog. Okay. They let the gate open when they had. Then you were 100% right to yell at them. 100%.
Yeah.
They're the reason their dog was in the road. Have you figured out who's? No, I have not. I walked to 15 houses, knocked on doors, asked. Nobody recognizes these dogs. The problem is my neighborhood has hundreds of houses. Like, we're only about 5 or 6 rows, but they go back a decent amount. And so I am not in the mood to go from door to door. My plan is to print out something with the dogs' pictures on it and let them know that these dogs are getting into my yard and they will not survive if my dog gets a hold of them. It's just a fact. Because this is my private property. And number two, the other reason why I don't want it is because when Orion got in the scuffle with the raccoon, he may have won, but the raccoon did some damage. She cut up his whole chest. The day it happened, I think I told you about it, didn't I? No. Oh, that was before I met you.
Yeah. Well, and you can't underestimate. I mean, yeah, Orion, if he gets a hold of the dog, will totally tear it up. The thing to consider is that they are very fast dogs, and they will still do a lot of damage to him.
Right, and
So it's not necessarily. I mean, it's like a large fighter who's really strong versus a small fighter who's really fast. You're going to have problems either way. There's actually a great scene out of Call of the Wild about a large dog in a fight with a small dog that gets hamstrung and killed. So,
and that's my point. Is like dachshunds have very sharp, narrow teeth because of what they attack,
and they fight in packs really well.
And there's two of them.
It's 2-on-1.
Right, and even though there's technically two of my dogs, Greta is not a fighter. I've never, like, when Orion was sniffing the kitten, Greta was kind of staying off to the side. When Orion was attacking the raccoon, Greta was barking very aggressively. But again, she was not partaking in any part of that raccoon. So this is the problem that I have. I don't know, and I do not wish to find out. I do not need the vet bills. I do not need the trauma, because anytime a dog gets in an altercation, that creates a new notch against the dog.
Yep.
That creates an issue. Now, legally, I own this property. Legally, it is my property. My dog would be fine because it's his own fenced-in yard, and the dog crawled in. That doesn't mean Orion's not going to get in an issue. That means doesn't mean he's not going to get his face cut up, anything like that. Don't mess with Orion. He takes his job as guard. So he really does. That raccoon found out, right? She really did, because the thing is, at the time, I still was paying for the full security system. So I had a camera pointed right at the backyard. 5 minutes before Orion went out there, that raccoon had already left the yard. Which means the only reason she was back in the yard is because she actively chose to attack him. Had to be. It's the only thing that makes sense. Because if you look beforehand, the raccoon was not in the yard. But the raccoon did have a baby in the area Orion was sniffing at, which is how this all occurred. Because Orion would beeline. I have a little storage shed back there that's just got dirt floor. And at the time, we still had it filled with shit from the previous owner. You tore up late and going long. Yes, Brahma, we are. Again,
hey, Bram.
But so at that time, it was safe for the raccoons and cats or whatever to hide in there. It's empty now. We finally cleaned it out, but too little, too late. And so as a result, she felt she was defending her baby, which is fine. Thank God at the time, Orion had just gotten his vaccinations like a couple weeks before. He had just gotten all of his updated. Thank God. Got to get him done again soon. It's been a couple of years now. I don't like talking to small kids without their parents present, because people tend to assume. I will, but I make sure I'm very loud so nobody can mistake what I'm saying. If I got to yell at kids, everyone's going to hear exactly what I'm saying. So that way, and I'm not close to the kids. And that's just because, like you said, I don't want anyone to assume. I don't want anyone to say anything. Everyone's going to be a witness.
And you do have a little bit of woman privilege in that regard. Most people don't assume women are going to do anything like that, but
it's true. Which is bullshit, because there's plenty of women predators too. But,
absolutely.
We thought so. The baby raccoon's leg was busted a couple of weeks later. We saw it limping on camera. We thought it died, but there is a raccoon still on my property, and every once in a while we see him. There's also a possum on my property. We see him fairly often. He's not super big, but he's not very fast either. Whenever I go out there and see him, he's just waddling away. And so I try to promote keeping them on the property. That's why I throw the food to the side, because raccoons and possums eat pests. They eat ticks. They eat roaches, all of that. So they would help prevent certain things from getting on the property. Same reason why I attract the local neighborhood chickens and why I try to attract the birds. Problem is that when parents see their kids getting yelled at by a random person, they assume the worst. See, I personally, maybe it's just my parents. My mom and dad automatically would assume if I was getting yelled at, I did something wrong.
Yeah.
And my friends, my closest friends, most of them are the same thing. They will automatically believe their kid did something wrong. So they'll walk up, they'll listen, they'll say, "Okay, what's going on?" And then they'll go from there. But my parents, like, it's a different generation maybe, but I have found a lot of parents are not willing. Like it was just thing Abba and Preach were just talking about the other day. This woman was teaching ballet class, and she said that these parents don't hold their kids accountable for almost anything, like at all. Like the little girl was saying, "You can't tell me what to do. You're not my mom." And telling her she got to go somewhere. No, shut up. I don't want to. And when she told the parents said, "Well, why are we trying to make her do something she didn't want to do?" Like, yep, someone I know was touched by one parent, right? I know someone that I used to be really good friends with, and then the whole BLM shit happened, and he got an aneurysm. But he told me, and every woman that did it to him was black. He's black. The women passed him around at 9 years old in his neighborhood, and they had him doing a lot of things that only adult men should be doing to women. And some of these women were related to him. And he was performing and having things performed on him that really messed him up. And he said it's very common in inner city black families. He said almost everyone he knew had similar stories. So yeah, it's true. It's why I get so sickened when they say, "Oh, let the babies twerk. Oh, let them dance to this. Oh, let them do that. Oh, I'm just trying to make my baby look good." No. People that try to do something bad tend to be quiet. So I don't think the parents would be too scared. Right. It was like, and he was very, very drunk when he admitted all this to us. It was at a big party. So it was at a weird junction, and Matt and I were like, everyone's sharing. We didn't think this was a sharing kind of situation. You shouldn't.
Some things I don't want to share.
Right. Especially if they aren't during the episode in question. I have adults like, right. But my thing is, in those situations, that's one of the reasons why, like, I have found, and this might be my own bias, mad gentlemen, but until recently, I was kind of in the camp of so many people are mad at cops all the time. There's got to be a lot of shitty things cops are doing, blah, blah, blah. And then I started watching body cam footage. And I started watching a lot of body cam footage. A lot. And I've started to notice a pattern. And typically, it's cops trying really hard and showing a lot of patience, and people treating them like shit. Now, I'm not saying the cameras don't play a part, but I've watched many of them weave the same story that was spoken about before body cams became a big thing. And then you see that it was a blatant lie. I've seen women literally say, "This is because I'm racist. This is because you're racist because I'm black, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're only doing this, blah, blah, blah." And you're looking at it and you're like, no, it's because you backed your car over the cop's foot. You revved the engine. You tried to run off. I remember when we went to Providence and we drove through the hood and kept seeing the same young girl circling the blocks. They told me she was hooking. She could have been more. Yeah, that sounds like Providence. Yeah. Oh yeah, you go to downtown Providence, especially because the age of consent for prostitutes, I think, was 13 or 16. From the same boat Star's on, there are bad cops. Yes, there are a lot of aides, and that's the thing. Like, I have noticed now, I am more in the camp of I don't believe 90% of what people are telling me about cops now. I am now more in the camp of you got shot by a cop, you did something to cause it. I'm sorry.
You see, I'm on both sides. There are plenty of situations where obviously the person's lying. And then there are other situations where obviously the cops did wrong. There's that poor baby in, I don't even remember what state now, that they literally raided the wrong home and they shot smoke grenade in there, busted in her door, shot a smoke grenade in there. Her baby was 18 months old on ventilator, had a feeding tube, and they took the mother out and left the baby in there with the smoke and left him in there for quite a period of time.
So the baby didn't survive, I assume.
No, the baby's still alive, but still recovering now at this point. But the fact of the matter is, the house that they raided, the person that they were looking for hadn't lived there in 2 years. They obviously didn't do any kind of stakeout or anything to see if they were still there.
Right.
It was just totally the wrong house. So there are issues on both ends.
Oh, I'm saying 90% for a reason, because I do believe there's still going to be that 10% where it's like, it's not just a screw up, it's a big screw up. And I have watched body cam footage where like, why didn't the cop do this? Why did they not let this? I'm not disagreeing that there are things, but from what I've witnessed and what I've watched in the pattern and the typical people that are saying certain things, white, black, old, young, there's a pattern for everybody. The problem is that cops don't just do their job. If I got pulled over for going 5 miles over the speed limit, it would just take 15 minutes to get my ticket and let me go. Don't try to talk me up. I know that with the age of computers, especially because Matt and I were pulled over when there wasn't a lot of computers in the car. It was so quick. And then I got pulled over after computers started getting put in the car. This was like in 2012. And suddenly they've got to do everything. Like, I was a brand new driver, and like this was in my hometown. My hometown was very peaceful. And I didn't understand at the time that driving the speed limit, my mind thought as long as I did under the limit, I was good.
Yeah. No.
So it was a 50 and I was doing 32. And I was especially doing 32, and I went even slower when a cop got behind me, because in my mind, I'm going to make sure he has no reason to pull me over. Look how good I'm being.
I'm going slower than everybody else.
I'm going so slow. I'm being so responsible. He pulled me over. And the thing is, he gave me the ticket, and then afterwards, after he'd already written the ticket, he said, well, you can just use your driving history. I said, I've only been driving 2 weeks. And he said, what do you mean? I said, I've only had my license for 2 weeks. And he went, oh. Well, sadly, I've already got the ticket in the system. No shit. And so that was like $250. And I was like in pain. Right when I was 6 and I almost put in a random man's card during school event, but I screamed. He said, oh, you're not my son. Might not have been an easy mistake. Right, exactly. I don't deny that cops can lie, but the thing is, that's a very vague statement without all the proof. That's the thing.
Everybody can lie. It's not just cops. Everybody lies.
Right. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, there's going to be sections of America where you're going to get worse cops. There's going to be precincts that suck. Miami-Dade across the board sucks. You go to most of New York, sucks. You go to LA, sucks. Right, Meta, that's your experience, but that's anecdotal, and sadly, anecdotal. It's.
I mean, fact of the matter is, good cop, bad cop, don't tell cops shit. Doesn't matter how good or bad you think the cop is. Don't talk to cops.
Stop giving them stuff they don't need to.
Don't give them information. Answer their questions, yes or no, if you have to. Anything past that, you say, I'm sorry, I would like a lawyer.
Because my thing is this. My father raised me to a very healthy fear of cops. Because my father got his ass beat by cops a lot. Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't need to say I don't answer questions, because then you're giving him a reason to wonder, why don't you want to answer questions? You just... Every time I've watched it, again, this is for me watching body cam footage. If they ask for your ID, give it. If they ask for your name, give it. Because I've noticed a lot of times, even if you have, unless you have an active warrant, like, they don't give a shit. They'll just pop you the ticket and call it a day. And they've often say this. They're like, they've argued with these people. I watched one today. They're like, listen, we just need your ID and we're going to drive you where you want to go. He said, we will bring you to where you want to go. We are offering it to you. She didn't listen. She argued with them. She fought with them. She yelled at them. Said they were being assholes. My father always told me, don't give them a reason. That's what my father always told me. So he said, if they pull you over, you have your paperwork ready. Hands at 10 and 2. They ask and turn, all of that shit. You do everything you need to. He tells you turn off the car, you turn off the car. You don't give them a reason. I got pulled over and I was so mad at Starman for it because the car, I had barely been driving it at that point. He had turned off all the lights in the car because of a problem with when all these new cars, the sensors, they go off. It's really annoying. I didn't know how to operate the lights in our new car. And so I'm going to highlight it quick. Yeah, you have to be very careful what you're saying and why you're saying it. You can't just be like, I'm not answering any questions, because then it gives the cops suspicion. Why are you not answering questions? You can literally, you got these sovereign people who believe they're sovereign citizens. But anyways, I got pulled over. At the time, the car wasn't registered and we didn't have insurance. Okay? I need you guys to understand that. We had neither.
Yeah, that'll be pricey.
And the cop didn't write me up for any of it because he could see my shirt was soaked from work. Because he looked at me, I had just got out of work. At the time, we were still going really slow. So I had a lot of old food in the car. He said, where are you coming from? And I told him I came from work. I was a dishwasher. It was late. It was like 10:30. I was like, I'm taking some old food home. And I was like, is there anything I can help you with? He goes, you got no lights on, right? And I had no idea. Zero. And he didn't write me a ticket. He just let me go because I was, this was a mistake I made because his headlights are right in my back window and they are one of those annoying headlights. So I was going like this at the light. And as we were driving, I had my hand out like that. So I wasn't getting blinded. I thought that's what he pulled me over for. And so I was like, officer, I'm sorry, but you were blinding me. He goes, do you realize you have no lights on? Nope. Now I do. And I got to leave scot-free by the grace of God.
My one and only speeding ticket, I was 16 and I was going 93 miles an hour in a construction zone.
Ooh.
And so cop pulls me over and he's looking at me and he's like, how fast you were going? I'm like, no. And as he's talking to me, this other truck literally just pulls ass just right behind him down the road. And he's like, follow me. So he gets back in his car. He pulls the other guy over. I pull in behind him. He comes back, and instead of writing me the 100 plus something, probably $500 ticket that I was supposed to get, I got a $60 speeding ticket. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm sure I looked terrified. I looked really sorry. And I was very polite. And I did what he said when he told me to follow him, more importantly.
Because I just saw it's a video from 2021. These people got pulled over. And it was a man and a woman in a red car. Apparently it was very viral. I only just saw it recently. They were pulled over and she was letting the cops know, oh yeah, there's this and this and that and the other. It was bumper to bumper traffic along the highway. This bitch jumps back in the car and speeds off. And about 5 minutes down the road, she crashed into a truck that was diesel split the car in half, and there's mixed reports. They said she died later. It is never worth getting in a fight with the cops. I have heard so much now from cops that it just from watching the videos, they even tell these people, if you don't argue with me, you'll be out in the morning. They said if you just let it go, just don't fight, let it go. But no, these people argue, they fight, they get snotty. Because yes, you have the right in America, you have freedom of speech. Freedom of speech or being on your property does not absolve you from the actions you take. You can't sit there and threaten a cop. You can't start screaming. You can't start chest bumping. You can't start arguing with them because, one, you are giving them a reason. And if anything even remotely sounds like a threat, or if you start saying, because I've heard a lot of them, they go, your wife is this. Oh, I hope she does this. I hope all of your, kids DIE, all these things. You start saying that is a threat. Not only that, but you are being a oh shit, what's the phrase?
Idiot.
That too. Disturbance. You are disturbing the public, which they can arrest you for. You're causing a problem. You're creating issues. They can detain you for that. So these are certain things that I have watched and I've gleaned from all of these videos. Just comply and I won't beat you. Well, the problem is that I've heard one before. I've heard them say it too, because usually the people that they're telling that to are kicking, punching, they're screaming. I watched one guy today. All the cop did was come over to his house after this guy threatened to set his girlfriend's ex-husband's house on fire. Okay? Cop came over to his house and said, listen, I am just here to tell you, you are trespassed from that location. You can't go over. The cop didn't even get to say that. The guy started screaming at him, you don't have the right to be on my property. You don't have the right to do this. You don't have the right to do that. Get the fuck off my property, blah, 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 blah. Just kept threatening the cop. And the cop used amazing restraint. Because even when the cop went out onto the public road and the guy was still threatening him and chest bumped the cop still told him to calm down, and he gave him plenty of chances. I'm shocked he didn't pull out the taser. He eventually finally had to take the guy down, and he fought every inch of the way. Although there are cops who do, especially if you comply, they will abuse. Even if you comply, they will use. Yeah, but that's very rare. That's the thing I've noticed. That's the thing. It's not that it's not impossible, but they make it sound like this is the more frequent. It's not. If that's the case, yeah, exactly, it's assault. The cop is justified. And the thing is, I'm not using anecdotal evidence. These are video evidence.
In fairness, your observation of the video evidence is technically anecdotal. The proper study would be non-anecdotal. However, the fact of the matter is we don't know how many videos of people doing this versus how many videos of cops being bad actually end up on the internet. I would say probably more of the ones where people are being bad end up on the internet than ones where cops are being bad, because let's face it, the cops don't want those out there. So you kind of get it's a kind of, am I being exposed to the full picture thing? But there are, that's why I said it's a spectrum. There are good cops who do the right thing and are dealing with asshole people, and there are bad cops who are terrible to people. That's why the right answer is you say yes or no to their questions. You don't volunteer any information. If they try to push it, then you basically say, if this is going to go any further, I would like to have a lawyer.
Anecdotal is personal experiences. I'm not talking about personal experiences, mad gentlemen. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about my own, I can talk about my own personal experiences, but I don't say that as evidence for anything else. I'm talking about the videos I've seen. These are videos out. And I will say this, although I don't watch them purely because the interactions are just very uncomfortable and usually they end in massive violence. There are whole channels dedicated just to the bad cop videos that happens from body cam. There are whole channels about it. And most people are scared when police say turn off the camera or you'll get arrested. I will say this, whenever I've seen cops say that they legally can't, you're allowed to record a cop. You are 100% allowed to. Now, that being said, see, I haven't seen them. But my point is, let me put it in this way, and this is the argument I've heard, and whatchamacallit. To me, it makes the most sense. There are thousands of cops, right, across the country. Thousands. I don't know how many, but I know easily at least 50,000 across the country. Easily. Out of that many cops, with the interactions happening every day, only about 900 to 1,000 people die every year from police interactions. This is out of millions of interactions done every single day across the U.S. But they don't end with everyone. If it was always cops are always lying, cops are always attacking people, cops are always doing this, there would be a much higher death rate. There will be a much higher incarceration rate. And that's fine. There are a few 100K police just in New York. Again, I said New York, there are places where obviously there's going to be bad police. The cops do these things and they get off scot-free. They have authority that we can't fight back against. Their authority, when you can't fight back against them, is usually... I'm trying to read. Everyone's saying different things at once. Anecdotal does not invalidate a claim. In my opinion, even on my own anecdotal, to an extent, I do believe anecdotal should not be a vast majority of your claim. You should have evidence to back it up. Videos, documented things that have happened. And that's why I'm saying, like, I before was in the camp of, because I haven't seen it, it must be true. Because I haven't experienced that. Clearly everyone's saying this is how cops are. I must be wrong. Everyone type you think, make chaos. And what has changed my mind is watching the videos that prove these otherwise. That's what changed my mind. Because my dad raised me to believe that cops are dangerous. Challenging it usually leads to nowhere. And if you get attacked by a cop, if you fight back, you'll just get more charges. If the cop attacks first, you have the right, especially if there is nothing you've done, if you are not doing anything, you have the right to defend yourself. But
you have to hope you can prove that that's what you're doing later.
Right. So the best way to do it, I do agree to an extent, is to do nothing. Because there are people that believe that they've done nothing wrong. Like, a cop will arrest someone. They'll be like, I didn't do anything wrong. Or you got the wrong guy. If you are innocent, the best thing you can do, from what I've seen, and it's what I would do. You don't have to. You decide what you want to. I would just be as neutral as possible.
I think we should move to a new topic. I'm bored.
I couldn't tell. I'm answering the things that come up. These cops breaking their oath. Yeah, but that's wrong on all fronts. That's just wrong on all fronts. All right, so then what's the next topic?
I don't know, just something not caught. Have you seen that Komodo dragon eating that goat?
I mean, I've seen Komodo dragons eating goats. Is this a recent goat?
There's one on Twitter. No, unions suck. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
That is still police, sir. It's just police dogs.
Sure.
It's an animal. Listen, Metastep. Dude, listen, you little shit. At some point, I don't agree with it. But we talked about that when it happened, didn't we?
Talked about what?
The bully ban.
Yeah, we've talked about that a number of times.
Yeah. Banning. I understand, and this is where most ANCAPs don't agree with me. I believe that banning owning exotics is one thing, because there's a reason why exotics shouldn't be owned. Like, people owning chimpanzees almost always leads to disaster. It's always a problem. Humans are animals too. Hush you. It's a soft segue. But people owning tigers, these are animals that are dangerous. These are animals that require... Talk about beavers, damn it. No. I've had enough about beavers today. Beavers is what led us to the mammoth conversation. But, what's this? Oh, is it a live goat? Wait, is it alive? The goat?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was at one point.
Stop it. Oh yeah, it's alive. I don't know if YouTube's gonna be okay with that. Oh, that was quick.
Well, it just won't. Well, I stopped it because I mean it.
I do feel pretty bad that the goat was alive. I don't know why. For me, the idea of getting eaten alive makes me sad in the tum-tum. But
yeah, it's scary.
Like, there's this scene from the old King Kong film. I don't know if I talked about it before. It's the giant bug scene when they fall off that. One of my biggest fears is when that big white worm thing just starts eating the guy's head, and you see him slowly, like...
Well, the reason I wanted to show it to you is there are a lot of people who think that goat's legs were broken.
That would make sense. I was wondering why the goat's legs weren't moving.
His legs are fine.
Did the Komodo dragon already bite him earlier?
But you have people out there thinking, oh my God, those goat's legs are broken. Some person put it out there just for him to eat. Oh my God, these people are so cruel. And so you got people out there whining because a Komodo dragon bit a goat, chased it, which, I mean, Komodos aren't exactly the fastest creature in the world. That's why they have a not powerful. It's a slow acting venom, but it will very slowly but surely kill something.
Fun fact, we didn't realize it was a venom until recently. Like, we're still finding out, and this is an animal that is well known. Everyone knows what a Komodo dragon is. We thought it was bacteria until very recently. And they can run in short spurts of the 30 miles an hour, but that takes a lot of energy for them.
Yep.
What Komodos like to do is they bite their prey, usually in the legs, and then they follow it
until it can't run anymore, and then they just eat it up.
And if I noticed that didn't look like a pen, you know?
No.
I have a feeling. Yeah, exactly. That's the part that will always bother me. Arcanus is that it's. Well, actually, he did eat it head first.
I'm pretty sure it was still alive. You can still hear it screaming in the stomach.
Oh, I'm glad I wasn't listening to the video then. Oh.
Yeah, it definitely. And the fun thing is if you really watch it, you can kind of see it moving a little bit as he starts walking.
I thought I saw that, but I thought maybe it was just a belly jiggle.
No. That goat's still kicking just a little bit. He didn't last much longer than that, I'm sure. But you literally have people who are talking about how...
I'm with Fox on this. Like, listen, it's the circle of life. I get it. This happens all the time in the wild. Still breaks my heart, dude.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't break my heart, but what can I say? I'm heartless.
The hell you is.
It's nature. What am I gonna do? The goat either the goat gets eaten, or the Komodo dragon starves.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that I'm bothered that the goat got eaten. It is not the issue I have. My problem will always be when animals get eaten alive and they're still alive in the tum tum. That's the only problem that I have. Otherwise, like, if the throat gets ripped out, if the guts get taken out, if the head gets popped off, if they dead before they reach the gullet, I'm great. It's just, that's my only, it's one of the reasons why I have a hard time with people owning snakes, because you're constantly having to end other animals. And what really freaks me out is the people that own rabbits and rats but will feed live prey to their snakes. And I'm like, bro, you sick.
I mean, some of those people have the rats to feed to their snakes. So it's just like we had goldfish to feed to our clown knife. So, I mean, and that guy would eat those things whole. There was no in between. There was no chewing. There was no killing them. It was sucking them in, and you could see a glitter of scales in the water after he was done.
And so like, I agree. I get it. And the thing is, like, that's something where, all right, so this is something where this can segue into a really good point. The vegan teacher, every time she has anything to say, it's always, do you think that they want? Do you think that this animal want? Yes, I think they do. I 100% do. I know. Guess what they did the other day? They ended another mouse that got in the house.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Oh, I wish I'd taken pictures. So I'm sitting up here. I don't remember if I was working on something or if I was streaming, and my mother yells at me up, and all I hear is something about Vincent. I'm like, shit, is he hurt or something? So I go downstairs, and no, apparently Vincent found a bird outside, and I don't know if it was frozen or if he killed it and brought it in the house, but he was sitting at the top of the cat tree at the bottom of the stairs, like he was going to bring it up here until he saw me come to the top of the stairs. Then he went into the sunroom with it, so I had to go and take the bird from him.
Oh my god, he was dragging it everywhere.
Oh no, it was he had drug it because he comes in the dog door in the back of the house. He brought that all the way through to the front of the house.
Oh my god.
And into the sunroom in the very front of the house. He brought that bird all the way through the fucking house.
He was so proud.
He was so proud of himself. So I honestly, when I picked it up, because it didn't feel frozen at all, I'm like 90% sure he killed it. So my cat's out here in sub-zero weather, finding fucking birds to kill. Huh?
And he's a senior cat on top of that.
No, he's not quite senior yet.
Isn't he like 9?
I don't think he's quite 9 yet.
I know Alex is older.
Alex is 10 or 11 now. And we had Alex for a few years before we got Vincent.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Daisy and Aria and almost Axel are all going to be 12.
Oh.
But whatchamacallit? No, and it's like, and I know you guys don't want to hear about her, but hear me out. The vegan teacher constantly talks about how animals don't want to eat each other. Animals don't want this, and they absolutely do. And I never understand how vegans will sit there and say we are so cruel when all we keep trying to do are ways to humanely take out animals so we can eat them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at nature, they anything but kind.
Well, that's literally the discussion I was having, because people are like, oh, because people were literally more inclined to believe that some human broke that goat's legs and put it out for the Komodo dragon than the Komodo dragon is just something that likes to eat things fucking whole and alive.
Not that I want the video back on, because I don't, but at the beginning of the video, you could see how, like, at first I was looking because I thought the goat's head was down and it was already dead, but the goat was shaking. And it wasn't shaking like a goat would shake. It was shaking like it was feeling the effects of something. And when it was already laying down.
When he picks it up, you can see the goat tries to move its legs, but it can't. If you look, the legs are totally intact. There's no breaking or anything. He just can't use them.
I would have replied, I don't want to be here either. Yeah, here I am. Your cat wanted to give you a present. How good of you. How sweet of him.
He's a very sweet cat.
Even small birds will try to hunt small animals. Yeah, like what they do is, and we've had this discussion before, cats will bring you food if they think you're too stupid to hunt for yourselves. But I think in this instance, Vincent was like, I got me a good meal. Like, he wanted to take it to where it was safe and comfy to eat it, because for him, the safety is inside the house. And so that's where he was taking it to. Now,
And he also knows if he's near me, literally, the dogs will leave him alone. I can have, even with Flynn in the house, I can have the dogs all on me and Vincent on me, and everybody's calm. Nobody will attack each other. It's the second they get off me, the problems start happening.
it's like, so for instance, like, yes, Silvar. That's why I'm really proud to say that my cast has never brought me gifts. So I'm very proud to say that. And
In this case, I think he just wanted to show off.
Exactly. I don't think he brought her a gift. I think he thought, this is where no one's going to bother me for my food. And look how wonderful it is.
Look what I did.
With Penny, if she sees me awake at night, like, oftentimes I'm reading in the middle of the night. If any of you see me active on any of the social media, understand I am either looking to troll somebody or I'm reading. Stop asking me to answer you. And Penny will scream. And now I've realized she's screaming for one of three things: food, water, or me. She wants me to go sit at the couch because that's when she feels the safest to sit on the couch. And so almost immediately, every time, the moment I sit on the couch at any point, I hear, and she comes right over with her little trill and sits either right next to me or right near me. This is the latest I started up in a while, right? Like, I'll tell you right now. Oh, it is almost 3 a.m., isn't it? Well, for me. For you, it's like what? 1? But yeah. I have been staying up late lately. I was doing Choco proud. I've been very good, but also because I had to get up early for the most part. But now we're switching on schedule. My cat cries, "Hello, Alabastard. I haven't seen you on here." My cat cries and brings me shoes because that means walks, exactly. I'm glad my cats don't give me gifts in background. All the cats ready to give stars on all the wonderful gifts they found while she isn't looking. See, that is the one thing I have not seen them do. The only cat I have that brings me stuff is Atticus, and that's because he plays fetch.
Night, Unlucky.
I'm heading to bed. You have a good night too, Unlucky. Sleep tight. And as you can see, depending on the night, I don't know where Calliope ran to. Usually she's over here. But depending on the night, I've either got Athena or Calliope when I'm in here. They've all decided to take over the niches that Zorro left behind. Specifically, this one just takes whenever she can. But they've been causing so many fights. She's cut open Arya's nose. Like, just really bad. I usually watch these after the fact because I'm on a California time. She's on California time too. Well, no, you're off by an hour.
I'm an hour ahead of them.
Yeah. Not by much, but it's true. But yeah, I will say that I'm very grateful, but I have a gross dead animal story. See, you're getting tired too now. So, when I was, excuse me, about 2 summers ago, it was, no, 2 winters ago, I and Starman were out for his birthday. No, we will not. You can't stop us.
I'll yawn again to spite you. Okay, she'll yawn again to spite you. I'm actually fine.
Oh, you said it too many times. Like you said. This is very true. It's very true. But, anyways, we get an alert on the camera, and we see what looks like a very tall man standing in our backyard. We had to rewind the video. It was a big old buzzard. Massive. Because we get a lot of buzzards out here. We get turkey hawks.
Ah.
Not turkey hawks, turkey vultures.
Right.
Okay? It landed in the yard. We didn't think anything of it. It must have tried to escape something because we have small birds. See? Happens eventually. And skinwalkers, right? So we're sitting there. We were not scared. We went to have our fun at the birthday party. And we got home. Didn't think anything of it. Over the next few days, Orion was impossible to get in the house. Now, mind you, this is February, okay? Very cold out. Starman did a quick scan of the backyard, thought nothing of it. About a week passes, and there is a day Matt cannot get Orion in the house. So he goes out there. I need y'all to understand that during this time, if you haven't noticed, Orion loves to lick my face. He loves to kiss me and cuddle me and all that good stuff. Well, Starman went outside to get Orion and discovered what Orion was so fascinated with. You see, that buzzard had not just landed in my yard, it had landed after dropping a possum and gutting it. So its internal organs were all there for everyone to see. And guess who had been licking them every time he went outside?
Sounds right.
When I tell you the internal screaming that I had. When my husband told me, I said, "I'm sorry, say what?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's a dead possum out here, and Orion was licking it." And I was like,
I gotta go wash my face now.
like, I wouldn't let. So Matt had to get out there with a shovel. At least the cat is.
This one's a dog, but yeah, he'll be okay.
He'll be okay. And that's right. Arcanus probably doesn't know me too well. Orion is a pit bull, 110-pound pit bull. He a big boy.
You are lucky he didn't try to just eat it out of the snow.
There was no snow.
Oh, it was just frozen straight to the ground?
Yeah. Just sitting there in its little leaf pile. The buzzard never came back and finished the job.
Can't imagine why.
That's what pissed me off. I was like, bro, you had to leave it? Couldn't just take it with you? You got the power. Right?
Apparently he was done with it.
And what I'm shocked is Orion really didn't want to eat it. It was like he was more fascinated than anything. The pit bull will be homeless after that. Why? Call customer service. And it's like, that's why I know Orion is more curious than anything. If he wanted to eat, he'd have eaten. It was more of a, wonder what this is. That tastes interesting. Something else tastes this today. That tastes interesting too. And I think it was just, Rangers replace the world as a vampire with Orion is a pit bull. I want to complain about your buzzard. Yes, hello. I need to have a complaint of one of your agents abandoned his kill in my yard. Yes, in my yard. Yeah, I need a cleanup crew. Thank you. What time of day? The inappropriate, disrespectful time of day. Thank you. Hey, Ma, I found this cool meat popsicle outside. Well, that was the worst part of it, you see. It had been not quite cold enough. See, again, we're in North Carolina. And how we also found it was the smell, because it had reached 70 degrees out.
Yummy.
So exciting. Again, like, I still remember the day. The raccoon was still the best, though, because Matt had to, like, swamp him over the head to get him to drop it. Because those...
Well, to be fair, it had been attacking him first,
It
so
was still hissing when Matt got out there. It was like still talking shit to him. It was going, and Orion's going, and Greta's like out there amping him up, like she's barking up a storm. Everything's going crazy, and I was just like, God. Italian meat pasta surprise. I didn't do it. I swear, yo, this, like, I will tell you right now, it is clear she launched at his face. He had scratches all down here and across his neck. You could see she launched at him, and Orion just grabbed her in one shot. And he apparently crushed all of her internals in one snap. And then just to make sure that the job was done, he shook her. So Starman
got a nice sawing thing that happens when they do that.
So Starman had to finish the job with the shovel himself afterwards. Most unceremoniously. But yeah. So that was what taught me. The raccoon, more than anything, taught me I need to be very careful with what's allowed to get into the yard. Because I now knew that if someone stepped up to Orion would step back, because raccoons are no joke, guys.
Mm-mm.
I will tell you right now, even though they are not big, they are no joke. They can take out things much bigger than them.
And raccoons are generally larger than most people expect. I mean, they're not small animals. They can be pretty big. We're talking they can be 20, 30 pounds sometimes.
In some cases, I've heard they can be up to 50.
Yeah.
Depending on the size.
They can get really big. Squirrels can also be nasty. I had a dog get in a fight with a squirrel once.
And squirrels are not as small as you think. You know, when we see them from far away, raccoons are dicks, right? Squirrels look relatively small till they're right up on you.
Yeah, they can be 10 pounds.
Yeah. And that's all muscle. Like, there's a series of squirrels in my neighborhood, specifically around my house, that have a habit of climbing on my windows. Like right here. And because they want to get to the bird feeders. So they will launch from the branches or the corner of the house to get to the bird feeder to get to the suet. You raccoons, lay back, you stupid dog. I'm going to get my friends. I will tell you what, that raccoon must have been absolutely terrified. Because that was 2021, guys. I ain't heard shit since from any of them. They very much stay clear of the backyard. All of them. I have a feeling because the possum was very young as well. I have a feeling that the dead possum in the back was a mother that the buzzard got a hold of. And because it was right near my house, I think that she must have died up in the tree. And the buzzard was pulling her apart. She fell down. And I think the same thing with the raccoon. The raccoon and buzzard and possum both abandoned, or, you know, not of their own choice, abandoned their children. And the children have just gotten free, easy meals from me for years. They have no need to leave. I throw old food out all the time. Works out.
Yep.
They stick around, and I had a squirrel that would throw down with the birds over our old feeder. Right. Like
squirrels are nasty. I hate them.
I love them, but I don't love them in my ceiling.
Nope. Yeah. See, that's one of the funny things. My friend, she has this habit of putting like apple slices out for the squirrels. Mm-hmm. And then she's like talking about how she's got squirrels in her ceilings, and her husband is out on the yard having to shoot them with a BB gun. And I'm like, if you didn't feed the fuckers, they wouldn't be at your house.
I definitely don't put out the whatchamacallit, fruit for them. I just throw everything off to the side, and what you find, you find. What I do is, like, I'll throw out nuts in the front lawn. Purely, see, again, we're getting tired now. I'll throw nuts out in the front lawn because what I want them to do is dig up grubs and stuff. And I want them to dig up the cow killers, and I want them to dig up any hornet's nest. Because the thing is, again,
we're very fruity people around here.
Don't worry, we can't do anything with an apple. Or can we? But whatchamacallit, a lot of folks really do forget that squirrels are not herbivores. They are carnivores too. Most rodents, I think with very rare exception, are carnivores. You can with imagination. See, Arcanus, you don't want us to not bring up the fruit. You just want to hear us get creative.
I think most of them are more omnivorous than strictly carnivorous.
Well, I don't mean strictly carnivore. I'm just saying, like, they eat.
They eat. Yeah, they'll eat anything. I mean, that's the thing. And birds will eat anything. It's like when I go and pick up eggs and it tells me that the chicken's been fed vegan food, and I'm like,
why?
The poor chicken. Why are you doing that to him?
Right. Like a lot
her.
of people,
their eggs. Well, no, it's a her. It's definitely a her because the eggs are coming out of her. So
it's confused chicken. Okay, she identifies however she wants to. Maybe that is the roosteriest hen you ever did see.
Maybe, but still. That's why I prefer pasture-raised chickens.
I definitely like the idea, although I will say, like, really good small farms, and we're talking, like, real small. Like, we're talking maybe they have 30 chickens. Woke star. Meta, out of anything you've ever said to me, that was the most painful.
I mean, you're not wrong, Arcanus. The best eggs I get are when the Hutterites, they're Amish with electricity, basically, type people.
Slightly advanced.
Well, I mean, they're a large, strict religious group or colony of people who do their own farming, their own livestock raising.
Right?
Yeah, basically what?
Ammonites?
Mennonites.
There's a weird name for the Amish with extra steps.
I think it's Mennonites, but
Ammonites.
They're kind of the same vein of that kind of thing, and yeah, kind of a cult. But they have the best fucking eggs. When I'm telling you, you know how you can buy the jumbo eggs at the store? These are like twice their size. They're like, I'm not kidding. They're like, and they're chicken fucking eggs. They're not goose eggs or something. They're chicken eggs. And it's like I'm holding this thing in my hand and like, Jesus Christ, this is huge. But they're good. They're the best fucking eggs. And they only cost you $2 a goddamn dozen.
See, this is something I miss about Rhode Island because we used to go to Buffoni's and they had the best eggs. That's where we used to buy them. We always bought from, that is something that to this day, what shocks me about ad break joke time. What shocks me about the South that doesn't exist down here is small time farms. Small little farms where you can go and do this. They made it sound like they were all over the place here. It was a lie. I feel gypped.
We got plenty of those here. Thank God.
What do you call a guy who likes his girls wild? I don't know, Dave. What?
Do we want to know? Really? Really, Dave?
Banned. Yes. That's it. I can't. That's bad.
I would eat duck eggs. I just haven't found any to buy.
They're hard to find. Starson sees a fox in her chicken. Starson, what you doing here? Leave. Excuse me, ma'am. I identify as a rooster. No problem. I'll treat you like one too. Oh God, I like that. It's not even good. Listen.
I think he means the pun.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I don't know. I've heard that duck eggs are really good, although I do not like balut. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't feel right to me.
I don't know that I've had it.
Balut, do you know what it is?
I've heard of it, but I can't recall right now.
Okay, so balut is when they purposely ferment and let a duck egg die.
Oh, no thanks.
Then you eat the whole damn duckling out of the egg. And like, oh, it's the richest soup you'll ever have. I'm good.
Duck can be good if cooked correctly. The difficulty is if you cook it too long, it's stringy and tough. If you don't cook it enough, it's, well, raw. And
You
if
can have it kind of raw, though. I will say
you
I've had
can,
it delicious.
I mean, well, but duck is one of those ones you want to cook more to the medium rare side because, like I said, if you don't cook it long enough, it's stringy. And if you don't cook it right, it's really gamey.
But I can tell you, as someone who's had duck, because again, when you work for a Muslim, they get real creative with what they'll cook for you, and they really like their duck. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. I did bailout once. Not a fan. Bailout?
Balut.
Oh, balut. That's not how it's spelled.
Give me a break.
I'll give you a chance, Alabastard, only because you're cute. But I will say this: if you get a chance, guys, have duck. It's so worth it.
I want to try to cook duck, but I haven't bothered buying one yet. So
If you do,
eventually.
obviously keep skin on because it needs it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just gets real weird. And use as it's the way I've had it spelled was BALUTE. That's what I've or BALUT. But yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Identify as a rooster, so you want to be treated like a chicken oyster stew. I'm gonna tell you. See, now I'm getting hungry. Dang it. That's not good.
Might be time for bed. What?
I'm smelling burning.
Uh-oh.
But it's the burn of someone's burning trash, I think.
Oh.
But it still makes my whole house stink.
Oh, one year, my next door neighbors, and this is lovely because we don't live in like a really spaced out place. We all have side yards, of course, but I would say my neighbor's house is 100 feet, maybe, probably less, away from me.
Right.
And my neighbor one year, in his infinite wisdom, because his power was off because he hadn't paid for his power, and it was the dead of winter, decided to burn tires in his side yards for warmth. You want to talk about a horrific smell that'll make your sinuses bleed?
It's rough.
That's one.
See, the thing is, my neighbors again were out where the banjos play, so they do weird shit, but it is odd for me to be smelling that burning at this time of night, even in my neighborhood. But it's not.
Is it cold?
Huh?
Is it cold?
Oh, it's fucking freezing out right now.
No, that's probably why.
It's like 20 some odd degrees.
Hey, Ember Doomsday. How's it going?
Let me see.
Hello, Gracie.
It is 31 degrees. Sorry, not 21, but still cold.
Yeah, I bet someone's burning to warm themselves up.
Yeah, but that's what the house is for. I'm
Yes,
saying they're burning trash. That's what I'm saying. This is not like they're burning something to like. This is. Let's see. I'm right near the side where it would be. Let me see. I'll look at my front yard really quick.
The neighborhood rodents heard you talking bad about them, so they got together to put together a trash cross in your front yard and burn it.
Oh yeah, there's a haze all over. Ah. All right, if you guys can see that, see right there.
Oh yeah.
See all that haze?
Mm-hmm. Someone's burning something out there.
Annoying. Deeply annoying. I gotta go to when there was no haze just to show the difference.
This is my problem child, Grace. You stop petting her. Watch this.
Oh God, she does what Yep, she does the stuff Greta does. Why are you not paying attention? Why are you not paying attention? Smacking at you, rolling. Greta's really bad.
Oh.
Or falling.
No, she heard with the dogs running because they've been chasing the cats. What, you're not going to do the thing because you're on camera?
Of course not. She's gonna make you look bad.
I swear, this breed has a sixth sense for when you try to get them on camera. Excuse you.
So gross. So mad. That's what a house is for, exactly. It starts on here with the common sense. That's what the house is for. If you're cold, go inside. It's crazy.
Yes, but some people burn things inside their house.
It's what a fireplace is for.
Yes, but you can burn trash in a fireplace.
Oh, no, this is definitely... Oh my God, it's giving me a headache now. I hate it when this happens. And I get it, they're doing it late at night, but it is not a pleasant smell for your house to have. But I think it's a good way, because again, I'm directly where the smoke is coming in, so I think it's a great way to end the stream before Starson starts gagging.
In a trash fire, like we always do.
Accurate. But why don't you take us out, darling? Let us know what is going on with you. Okay, I know it's probably not the case, but check to see if the neighbor's house is not on fire. It could be a shitty... their house anyway. I will, but I didn't see any actual fire flames. It smells very much like the trash, but I'll check before I go to bed.
You're a pain in the butt, dog.
Not our Gracie.
Oh my God.
Peach. But all right, why don't you take us out, lady? Let us know what's going on with you.
It smells like a tamed fire. All right, I will be probably doing party animals with Brahma tomorrow night. Midweek hump on the Shagsworth channel on Wednesday. Thursday, I will be on my channel and I will read some more Lovecraft. We will probably finish up The Mound, if not come close to finishing it. I will try to finish the whole thing. I've got this absolutely nasty throat coat tea that helps me read. Tastes gross, but it works. So there's that. Friday, I will be playing a video game of some kind. Saturday, I will be playing Neverwinter Nights with Cheap Cidian, my friend Darylyn, and Robust. And Sunday, probably more Neverwinter Nights because it is the other week. Maybe Timberborn Arcanist. We'll see how I feel when I get there. But Sunday will be more Neverwinter Nights. And then Monday, I'm back here with Starsan, where we do more of our wonderful rambling talks, and hopefully we can avoid the subject of cops.
How dare! You can tell she's mad at me for that.
And no meta step. This one is like lemon and echinacea, and I'd never had it before, but
echinacea is powerful.
It got me through an extra half hour of reading, because normally I can only read for like right at 2 hours, but it got me into another extra half hour. That
and Lizards and Goats. They're requesting no more.
Lizards and Goats. I mean, I don't mind talking about lizards and goats, but the cops just get boring. I mean, you can only say so many things so many times. And I will read your dolphin propaganda, Dave, after I'm finished with the Lovecraft stuff, because I did the poll on the community. See, this is the other thing, is if you are part of the community, if you would do the membership stuff, I put out polls and stuff and ask you guys what you would like to see from me. And you can participate in that if you are a member.
So you don't want to be part of that?
See? You can tell me what to do and I might listen. Maybe.
Keyword might. It's heavy on the might.
It's really kind of a big might. But I'll at least ask you, so there's that.
She'll pretend. She'll make you feel special.
For a minute.
For a minute.
What do you got going on?
Me, you will see me tomorrow at noon, unless I fall asleep or, need to delay it a little bit. But you'll see me tomorrow for our chat and draw. And I will have a new video out this week where I am reviewing some healthy recipes by a very prominent YouTube chef that I'm actually kind of excited to try. So I can pay you and do what I want. Whoa, look at you, baby. Wait,
nice.
Shackles, I caught you. I think that's yours.
No, that's yours.
That's mine?
That's your money.
Oh, She just gave me.
I have to see if that's what's the word?
money.
Common. If I'm allowed to read it without getting in trouble, basically, Metastep. I'm not sure.
Wait, what?
He wants me to read Rothbard.
Yeah, it's careful, especially these days. These people, but she can read it on certainly Rumble. So you could have a Rumble one.
Well, I like to stay away from things that might get me in trouble in copyright manners.
Oh, that too. I'm Serbian. You can't cancel me. I have no shame.
He's not wrong.
I listen. I've caught on. But you'll get a new video from me this week. I am going to try to get back into a better routine and get everything all up and started. And I'm actually gonna get my artwork finished because I still have Mermaid and Inktober to finish. But otherwise, guys, that should be it for now. Thank you so much for joining us. Please, if whenever you come on in, you're watching this afterwards, do yourself a favor. Please make sure to replay this on the Horror StarMorata side. She needs more watch hours so she can become a full YouTube partner. How many more?
In fairness, I also need like 400 more followers too. But we'll get there.
That part too. But watch hours are helpful. Otherwise, guys, that is it. Remember to get your animals spayed or neutered. Remember to tell people that are important to you, that you love them and be safe. So, guys, I love you. Be safe. And Horror,
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too.
You saw me go this way, Mercy. And be safe. Have
Be
a great
safe.
night, everyone.
Night, GJ. Sorry, we're leaving now. Bye.
Bye.